good. This. Connected. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Connected. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Connected. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Connected. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Connected. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. Caught a little loop there. Okay. All right. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. 33 minutes to game time. All right. What am I trying to put on here? All right, let's set that there. I'll set this here. Pull up my pants. I forgot to wear a belt. I got one. There we go. Let's try these things out. See how they work.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more at studentaid.gov.
Are those Del Val's jerseys? Those are very weird. How would you even describe that? It's got like a racing stripe across the middle of it. White pants, white jerseys, with a green racing stripe. That's interesting. Interesting. Actually can't. Okay.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Want to get the most out of your exercise? This is registered dietitian nutritionist Melissa Dobbins. A few hours before you work out, eat right. Have peanut butter and honey on whole grain toast, a turkey and Swiss sandwich with fruit, or oatmeal with banana, almonds, and fat-free milk. Then a half hour before you exercise, eat some fruit and drink a bottle of water. You'll train longer, work out harder, and delay fatigue. Eating right helps. For a registered dietitian nutritionist near you, visit eatright.org.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Want to get the most out of your exercise? This is registered dietitian nutritionist Melissa Dobbins. A few hours before you work out, eat right. Have peanut butter and honey on whole grain toast, a turkey and Swiss sandwich with fruit, or oatmeal with banana, almonds, and fat-free milk. Then a half hour before you exercise, eat some fruit and drink a bottle of water. You'll train longer, work out harder, and delay fatigue. Eating right helps. For a registered dietitian nutritionist near you, visit eatright.org.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorps Connect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Want to get the most out of your exercise? This is registered dietitian nutritionist Melissa Dobbins. A few hours before you work out, eat right. Have peanut butter and honey on whole grain toast, a turkey and Swiss sandwich with fruit, or oatmeal with banana, almonds, and fat-free milk. Then a half hour before you exercise, eat some fruit and drink a bottle of water. You'll train longer, work out harder, and delay fatigue. Eating right helps. For a registered dietitian nutritionist near you, visit eatright.org.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Right now, we all might feel a little disconnected. For seniors living alone with smaller social circles, feelings of loneliness and isolation can feel overwhelming. But there's something we can all do to help. Connect with your older loved one virtually and have the conversation of a lifetime with StoryCorps Connect. Anyone can conduct an interview, and every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history. Connect, honor, share at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Those of you listening in, we're going to go with our pregame in about 5 minutes. We're going to run 5 minutes of silence here because I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing the same PSAs over and over. But we'll go in about 15 minutes away from kickoff.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
On a gorgeous late summer Friday evening in Union, New Jersey, as the sun sets into the horizon, the sun rises on a new season of Aggies football. It has been a long, long time, folks, about 16 months or so since we were able to welcome you into a broadcast, but we're able to do that tonight as the Delaware Valley Aggies kick off the 2021 football season with an away game here in northern New Jersey against the Kane University Cougars. Good evening, everyone. Gordon Mann flying solo here for our audio broadcast. When the Aggies are at home, we'll have pictures to go with the words. But tonight, Delaware Valley kicks off the 2021 season on the road. The last time Delaware Valley played, they lost in the national quarterfinals to a North Central college out of the suburbs of Chicago. North Central went on to win the whole thing, the national championship, and Delaware Valley's record against them, Aggies actually had the second smallest margin of defeat against the eventual national champs, behind only University of Mount Union. So Aggies finished 2019 in the top 10, in the top 5 actually, in the country. And then last season, well, you all know what happened last year with the pandemic and COVID-19. Some schools and programs had games, a very small number had games in the fall, a few had games in the spring. Kane, tonight's opponent, actually played one game last year in the spring, lost 41-12 to Montclair State, who we'll see at home next weekend. But Delaware Valley had just spring games against each other. They had a green and gold scrimmage about 10 days or so ago, and then had a chance finally for the first time in what must have seemed like forever, but was about 18 months. They had the chance to hit somebody other than their own teammate I guess it would be about 9 days ago when Delaware Valley played Ursinus in their scrimmage. But the Aggies are ready to kick off the 2021 season, and we're glad you could join us here from Union, New Jersey. Not too far from New York City. The Aggies will be up in this general area again later on in the season when they play Fairleigh Dickinson in conference play. It is a gorgeous evening. There's very few clouds in the sky, very different from what the weather was like here a few days ago. Hurricane Ida, which certainly hit the Philadelphia region pretty hard, hit this one very hard as well. Talking to the folks here at Kane, the entire neighborhood around the university here, it's right in Union, New Jersey, right in the residential section, was so flooded out that the staff who were here weren't able to go home. They ended up spending the night. I guess that was on Wednesday into Thursday, and that gives you a sense. Classes were canceled yesterday and maybe today, as the university is just starting to open back up in what has been an adventurous 18 months or so on the East Coast, really for everybody. For the Aggies, as we get ready for this one, changes from the last time we were on the air. Well, on defense, thankfully for Delaware Valley, there aren't very many. The Aggies had one of the top 10 defenses in the country 2 seasons ago, and a lot of those players come back, plus one interesting one. Delaware Valley anchored by, now we can say, the 3-time All-American Michael Nobile, first-team All-American last year in Defensive Player of the Year in the East Region for NCAA Division III, preseason All-American, first-team All-American, and Nobile closing in. He's just starting his junior year, redshirted at Temple for a season, but he already is quickly moving up the charts in terms of tackles for loss. He led the entire country in that category 2 years ago. Sacks. If he produced at the same level in his junior and senior season that he did in his freshman and sophomore season, Nobile has a chance to become NCAA college football's all-time tackles for loss leader. The guy who holds that record is actually in the conference, someone we saw what seems like a lifetime ago, but Stephen Wilson, the outside linebacker from Kings, who had 101 tackles for loss in his college football career. Nobile, again, 2 more years to go for Michael, but he's on pace. Next to Mike will be his twin brother, Anthony, but along with that, a transfer from Wesley University. Wesley, probably the Aggies' biggest rival, but one of the changes that's taken place over the last 18 months is Wesley doesn't exist anymore. The college was bought out by Delaware State University in Dover. Del State, which is Division I for football and all other sports, closed down the Division III athletic program, and anybody who was playing for the Wolverines and had eligibility left had to head elsewhere. And so the Aggies picked up one of the best linemen in the New Jersey Athletic Conference last year in Shamir Vessels, and so their front line now will be Vessels, Nobile, and Nobile, a very, very formidable front three for Del Val. Linebackers change over, but Anthony Tedesco, who probably should have been an All-American last year, is back. He's the senior anchoring what will be probably more of a 4-3 front than a 3-4. And everybody in the secondary is back, including second-team All-American Justin Harris at one corner. Blaine Netterman, who had at least 1 pick six, maybe 2 against Ursinus, is anchoring the safeties. Where the Aggies will have changes is on the offensive side. Last time we were on the air, it was Anthony Fontana who played a single season at quarterback, and Fontana has graduated and moved on. So Daquan Bohannon moves into the starting lineup for Delaware Valley, a senior, and it again will be a one-year arrangement there for Bohannon because he'll graduate after this year. Bohannon transferred into the college from Valley Forge Military Academy and has been here for a couple of years. We're going to pause here for a moment. We've got a really irritating beeping sound, and I don't know if you're picking that up too, but we will check that out and come back and continue with our pregame. This is Aggies Football 2021. The irritating beeping sound was not from us. It was from the public address system here at Kane University. So trying to work out all of the kinks here. The Aggies, again, new quarterback this year in Daquan Bohannon. Will also have to find productivity out of the wide receivers. They graduated a bunch of guys, including the best tight end in program history, Dan Allen. And anytime you graduate somebody who was the best in program history, there's very big shoes to fill. Aaron Nelson's back. He's a graduate student now at Del Val, but it will be a relatively new wide receiving core. Aggies' backfield will have Dante Simmons and Quadier Struthers. Struthers was injured against Wesley College in the Aggies' quadruple overtime loss last year. He's back, and so Simmons and Struthers would be the starting running backs. Mario Nigro, who was the team's leading rusher from 2 years ago, I'm going to have to catch myself and not say a year ago all throughout the season, 2 seasons ago, is graduated and moved on. So the Aggies starting quarterback, top wide receiver, and starting leading rusher on the team from the last time they played, all gone. So the Aggies will have a new look on offense. You could say pretty much the same thing for most of Kane. We have the 2 deep from Kane from a couple of years ago, but a lot of new names on the roster here from the last time we were here. Their quarterback will be junior Antonio Scott. Miles Toppin, a fifth-year player, and there's going to be a lot of fifth-year and even some sixth-year players out there. Aggies' average age on the offensive line is 24. Average age on the defense is 24. So that won't be unusual. Anybody who was supposed to play last year got an extra year of eligibility. And so if you had an injury, or as the Nobile brothers did, or some of the other Aggies or some of the other Cougars, you're going to see some older players in the game here tonight. Kane on defense does bring back one of the best linebackers in the country, in Dante Capozzoli. Capozzoli led the team 2 seasons ago when the Cougars had 87 tackles, a fifth-year middle linebacker, what they call their Mike, here for Kane. Thank you very much. So, when we broadcast here at Kane, we are in what can best be described as basically the equipment room. And so the stadium's lights are to my left. We could have some fun with that later on. And the stadium's alarm system is also in the box here with me. So somebody tripped an alarm somewhere in the stadium, and that's what that incessant beeping was. Turned off in our room, at least. I hear it in the distance, but we'll be set to go here in just a minute. The Aggies have not come back out onto the field. Kane is out in what is, well, new to us at least, jerseys. They are sky blue pants with the more traditional Kane colors, the navy blue and white stripe down the side of the pants. Coached by Dan Garrett in his 16th season at Kane University, a graduate of Montclair State, probably Kane's biggest rival in a lot of sports. I know for baseball and for women's basketball that would be the case. And Montclair State, who the Aggies will play next week. Again, they're about 15 minutes from here. You have a whole collection of schools, public universities here in Division III, what's called the New Jersey Athletic Conference. A whole collection of them here in this part of the state with Rutgers Newark, Kane, Montclair State, and William Patterson, all not too far from each other. Let's get you the starting lineups and run down them for you. We'll give them again as the game's rolling through, but just to set the rosters for you. For the Aggies on offense, across the front, it will be three seniors and two juniors. Corey Shriver, Austin Regan at left guard and left tackle and left guard, respectively. Center is Jeremy Adams. The right guard will be Ron Goodwin, and the right tackle will be Bam Banavati. For the Aggies at wide receivers, Aaron Nelson had 29 catches for 5 scores 2 seasons ago. Little John Davis, 17 catches for 3 scores a couple years ago, also a threat to run it out of the backfield to be the other starting wide receiver. Bryce Dorsey will get the start at tight end. Starting running back for the Aggies will be Dante Simmons, the senior out of Bristol, Pennsylvania. Starting fullback will be Walt Truxell. And again, Daquan Bohannon out of Philadelphia is the Aggies quarterback. Kane defense, Ben Davis, Kevin Pagero, and Gemma Njai across the 3-4 front for Kane University. Cougars gave up about 27 points per game 2 seasons ago and gave up about 37 to the Aggies in what was the season opener for those 2 teams a year ago. Rare that the Aggies would be on the road twice, but the Aggies' schedule this year has a concentration of home games, and if they had not played this one on the road, it would have been something like a 7-3 split, with most of the season being played at home. Middle linebackers for the Cougars, again, we talked about Capozzoli in the open. He's the best player on the team, preseason All-American. He's joined by, on the weak side, Aaron Cottrell. The strong side is Matt Milden, and the rover is Raymond Gorney. Corners for the Cougars, Nasir Neal and Keon Taylor. Taylor played a couple of seasons ago when we were last here. Tanner Ash and Anthony Bassani round out the defense. Aggies come out onto the field as the sun sets here. It is directly in our eyes. We'll position ourselves to shield ourselves away from that. Aggies with new jerseys. They have won the toss. They have elected to receive. Jerseys that are all white. White shoes, white socks, white pants, white jersey. Should be fun trying to clean those off later on, although this is on turf, so it won't matter tonight. Kind of a green racing stripe. If you're familiar with the Montreal Canadiens hockey jerseys, it's that kind of look. And then a helmet that's a flat black with a silver and a iridescent silver. This thing probably glows in the dark. Ram horns. Aggies change their uniforms basically every single year, including the helmet. So you never know what you're going to get until you get to week 1, and that's what you got. They're the Silver Rams this year. In fact, the play-by-play guy for Kane stopped over and said, "Are they called the Aggies or the Rams?" We'll stop now for the national anthem. All right, well, we got the chimes of the alarm system going in our ears again. If you're hearing that beeping sound, it's unfortunately not something we can control unless Kane cares to give us the password to turn that off. But we'll power through. Up. And let's see, I'm going to watch this time. Nope, just that button. All right, I can do that. Thanks to Kim DeRitter, who's had a very long week here. We mentioned before that her and her staff were stranded here overnight because all the roads were flooded out. So they have been on campus a lot more than they would like to be. And a very busy weekend here at Kane. Last year, Kane, the restrictions, the health and safety restrictions for the New Jersey schools was you can't play anybody out of conference and you can't leave the state. So a lot of the schools in the NJAC have scheduled everything home for this weekend, not knowing what the health and safety restrictions would be. So Kane has something like 4 volleyball games, 6 soccer games, and a football game in about a 72-hour window. Cougars will kick it off. Aggies will return back for Delaware Valley. A pair of Aggies, Dramir Prevard, the junior from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and sophomore Tristan Weathers. A new name for us, number 19 for Del Val. Cougars kickoff coming off the foot of George Chrysophus, a freshman out of Hamilton, New Jersey. Chrysophus paces it off. Kane in the powder blue. Aggies in the white and racing stripe green. And after a long wait, Aggies football is back. Kick is taken by Prevard at his 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and cut down at about the 32-yard line is Dramir Prevard. And the Aggies offense will come out onto the field. We gave it to you a moment ago, but here it is again across the front. Corey Shriver, Austin Regan, Jeremy Adams, Ron Goodwin, and Banavati along the front line, Banavidi, along the front line for the Aggies. Nelson and John Davis are the wide receivers. Tamir Barksdale, who is an All-American as a punt returner, will also see some balls, I'm sure. Bryce Dorsey is the tailback. Truxell and Dante Simmons in the backfield. And Daquan Bohannon is your quarterback. Bohannon throwing on first down, and the ball is bobbled and dropped out of the hands of, I think that was Quadier Struthers, who was unable to hang on to it. Bohannon's numbers a year ago, sparing, he did not see a lot of action. He actually did see action against Kane. But last year, or 2 years ago, 21 for 40, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He was sacked a bunch of times. He's a big guy. Jeremy Adams, their center, was joking that the quarterback is bigger than the center on this team. And Bohannon loads up, fires. That catch is made up to about the 40-41, and then rocked is Quadier Struthers. Pickup of about 7 for Quadier, and the Aggies will have a third and call it 2.5 from their own 41. Cougars defense, Davis, Piguero, and Njai across the front. Nat Milden, Dante Capozzoli, and Aaron Cottrell are the linebackers. Ray Gorney is the rover. Nasir Neal, Keon Taylor are your corners. Tanner Ash and Anthony Bassani are your safeties. Opening drive of the game, just 42 seconds gone. Aggies with a 3rd and 2. Bohannon out of the shotgun, steps up, has some space. He's got the first down across the 45 and down to the Delaware Valley 49. A pickup of about 6.5 for Daquan Bohannon. And the Aggies move the sticks. It's the first down of the 2021 season. 1st and 10 for Del Val at their own 49. Aggies open the season with a pair of non-conference games here at Kane and then at home next weekend against Montclair State, which is receiving top 25 votes. Aggies are number 12 in the country entering the night. Bohannon will go under center for the first time. Fake the handoff. All kinds of time. Loads up. Fires. Got a man and incomplete through the hands. But Bohannon had it right on the hands. A beautiful throw from Bohannon. And should have been 6 points, but just slips through the mitts of the intended wide receiver. And not giving you the name because the sun continues to set, and we have no idea who that is. There's such a glare off the field. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Del Val. I think it was Tavion Dorsey, 81, but again, with where that ball was thrown in the glare, don't know, and probably for the best. Kane jumps but gets back on 2nd and 10. Aggies have not run the ball yet here. 5th play from scrimmage, all throws, and this one will be 2. Bohannon looking, flips it down the field, and it is incomplete. And again, that catch was there to be made, but Zach Harding ends up running himself basically out of the route. The ball drops to the turf. Incomplete. So we mentioned in the open that the Aggies were going to have to kind of find their way on receivers, and 5 plays into the game, we have 3 dropped passes already. 3rd and 10 for Delaware Valley from their own 49. Harding checks out of the game. Tamir Barksdale is in. Tavion Dorsey to the right side. And Bohannon has Dante Simmons to his right. Another throw. Once again, time. Pass, throw, and Cass is picked off. Picked off at the Cougars. Up to the Delaware Valley 42. And Kane will take over there as interception is made by the Cougars' Anthony Bassani. So Bohannon, who was picked off once in very limited action a year ago, throws it right into the hands of the senior from Manalapan. That'll give the Cougars very good field position. The last time these two teams played, Kane started the game by going right into their end zone and getting sacked. It was 2-0 before before you could blink, as Michael Nobile had the safety. This time, no danger of a safety. They started at the Aggies 42. Scott hands the ball off, and he is swallowed up. Loss of 2 on the play, as Blaine Netterman was immediately there in the backfield, and the Cougars go backwards 2 steps on their first offensive play of the season. Kane offense looks like this. The sophomore left tackle is Ryan McCabe. Left guard is Angel Quinones Jr. Center, Matthew Gadetti. Right guard is Joey Grassi. And the right tackle is Rafael Pepin. Wide receivers for the Cougars, Miles Toppin and Jake Zarillo, along with Marquise Montemoyo and Dante Jameson. It's a 4 wide receiver set. Handoff here, sweeping around the outside, looking for some space and getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard or so more will bring up a 3rd and long before Dante Jameson is pushed out of bounds. They're going to give him about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8. Running backs for the Cougars, well, they feature 4 wide receivers, a very wide open set. The tight end is David Welch, and Davion Dorr is the starting running back for the Cougars. 3rd and 8. Kane has to get to the Del Val 33 for a first down. Antonio Scott out of the shotgun here on 12:08 to play. Scott takes a snap, rolls, he's under pressure, and he evades the sack. Looking, now firing it down the field, and it is, caught? No, incomplete. And the Aggies got lucky as Scott had a man wide open, but the wide receiver was unable to hang on to it. It was Miles Toppin who could have had 6 points, but had it juggle out of his hands. Aggies were very fortunate there because I think it was Justin Harris or Jameer Pravard or both kind of strayed away from Toppin, who broke off the pattern after Scott was nearly sacked. And again, a catch that probably 9 times out of 10 Toppin makes. Instead, the Cougars go 1-2-3, maybe kick. Cougars are missing a guy. Can't quite see where the play clock is. They're going to pick up a penalty or take a timeout. Cougars take a timeout there first. Nope. They're going to take the 5 yards. In fact, they may have been, well, it wasn't intentional because everybody was hopping up and down, looking for an extra man, waiting for Jesus Ruiz to join the formation. It may end up being for the better, though, because it gives the punter a little more space to try and squeeze this one in. The punter is also the nose tackle. We don't say that too often. Freshman Kevin Piguero out of Jersey City does both duties, apparently. Kick is away. Barksdale gives it a look, and just into the end zone. That was a great kick from Peguero, but just does get into the end zone. And so the Aggies will dodge a bullet to start the year and try again from their own 20-yard line. Aggies and Cougars scoreless here, 11:49 to play in the first quarter. Aggies 6 plays in the first offensive possession of the season. 3 dropped passes and an interception. So not very sharp. Have not run the ball yet. And that changes. First handoff of the season goes to Dante Simmons. And Dante has about a yard, and that's it. Tackle made, it looks like, by Tanner Ash. Strong safety for the Cougars. It'll be 2nd and 9. Aggies will split Tristan Weathers to the outside. Bohannon directly behind Adams at center. And a quick sling catch is made by Barksdale. Barksdale's defender ran the wrong way, 35-40. And out of bounds with a big pickup for Delaware Valley. It's about a 20-yard gain and a first down. I'm not sure what happened to the defensive back there. After the ball was caught, the defensive back ran away from him. He must not have realized that the ball actually went to him. And so Barksdale basically had 15 yards before anyone was anywhere near him. 23 yards officially on the play. 1st and 10 for Del Val from their own 45. Dorsey to the near side, scoreless, 10:39 to play. Bohannon looks at one guy, looks him off, rolling to the near sideline. Now Daquan will just put his head down and get out of bounds about close to the original line of scrimmage. Nice play there by Canes' Raymond Gorney, the sophomore out of West Milford, who comes up to force him out after a pickup of about a yard. Second and 9 for Del Val. Tristan Weathers to the far side. Bohannon, little swing pass to Simmons. Simmons cuts at the 50 across midfield and into Kane territory down at the Cougars' 48-yard line. They'll give Simmons 6. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Delaware Valley as they're into the Cougars' territory for the first time tonight. John Davis leaves the field. Zach Harding, the second tight end, checks in. Simmons out. Bryce Dorsey out. Aggies bring the junior fullback Walt Truxell back into the game. He did not touch the ball 2 seasons ago. 3rd and 3. Aggies have to get to the Kane 45. Ball fumbled. And Bohannon, I think, gets it back. Kane is saying they have it, but not nearly excited enough. So apparently Del Val recovers, and the Aggies, again, nearly give the ball away on 3rd down. Did give it away the first time. That time a bad exchange, and the Aggies will be forced to punt. Kane with a very loud band. That's impressive. I guess we could turn the crowd mic up so you can hear it. There you go. Enjoy the band. Miller set to punt it away. 4th and 5 for Del Val. Snap is clean. Kicked off the front of the foot for Miller. Takes an Aggies bounce. Taken by Jamison at his own 7. He will run forward. Breaks the tackle. Loses the ball. Gets it back, I believe, and is tackled at his own 13. Jamison had it stripped, but it bounced right back up into his chest. And so, disaster averted. Cougars will take over 1st and 10 from their own 15. $8:27 to play here in the first quarter. As the Aggies defense, we gave it to you earlier, but here is again Anthony Nobile and Michael Nobile are the defensive ends. Shamir Vessels starts at nose tackle. Yusuf Aladinoff and Aaron Myers are the linebackers. This is a handoff and about 3 or 4 yards there for Davian Dorr. First carry of the game for Dorr. Aggies linebackers Yusef Aladinoff and Aaron Mays on the outside. Trent Freeze, the sophomore, special teams standout a season ago. And Anthony Tedisco, the senior leader, are the inside linebackers. The corners are Jameer Pavard and Justin Harris. Free safety is Dante Mason. Strong safety is Blaine Netterman. Second and about 6 for the Cougars. Pass is thrown and caught, a short pattern, and wide receiver is dropped after about a gain of 1. Marquise Montemoino, the fifth-year player from Fort Lee, New Jersey, gets about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Kane. Cougars with 4 wide receivers to the near side. Now they're going to shake it up a little bit and send Miles Toppin to the far side. He's getting a ton of space. Scott with trips to his near side takes a snap. Under pressure, pass is thrown. Ball is bobbled and dropped. Catch should have been made as Anthony Nobile and Shamir Vessels sandwich Scott, but his pass hits the hands of Marcus Montemoino, and Montemoino just dropped it. So unofficially now that's 5 drops and 2 possessions for the two teams combined, including 2 would-be touchdowns. 1 for Del Val and 1 for Kane. Barksdale stands at his own 42. 3 punt returns for scores 2 years ago. Peguero, if that is indeed him, because Kane has multiple double-digit numbers, or duplicate numbers, kicks it away from Barksdale. He catches it his own 35. Skitters around, 40, 45, 50, 45 of Kane, and out of bounds at the Cougars at the 45 exactly. Good return of about 20 yards for Barksdale, and then the Aggies will start inside Kane territory. Nas Neal chases him out, senior from Newark, New Jersey. So the Aggies, 2 first downs, and then 1 interception and 1 near fumble. Well, they did fumble it, but they recovered it. So try and get the offense going here on the 3rd possession of the season. They start in Kane territory at the Cougars' 45. Bohannon fakes the handoff to Struthers, drops back, throws, looking deep, and overshoots his man, Davion Dorsey, by about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 10. Live stats, not really working. See if we can find them another way here. 2nd and 10 for Kane. Or for Del Val, excuse me. Bohannon hands it off. Good head of space up to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds inside the, well, let's see where they mark him. Dante Simmons with a run to the, they're going to say the 15. Call it the 14 as Simmons just ricocheted off a man on the left side and has a huge gain for Del Val inside the Kane red zone for the first time this season, or tonight, or both, I guess. 1st down and 10 for Del Val at the Kane 14. Yeah, live stats not working. Bohannon with Simmons behind him. Trips to the far side, but just going to hand it off to Dante again. Dante forward to about the 10 this time. Pickup of close to 5 for Dante. Simmons starts towards the sideline, and yes, now he'll check out as Quadier Struthers checks in. One thing the Aggies do not have, at the skill positions at least, height. John Davis, Dante Simmons, Quadier Struthers, Tamir Barksdale, all probably a little shorter than me. And I'm about the same height as me, and I'm 5'8". Handoff goes to Struthers. Struthers lightning quick through the line, and then smashed into a pile of powder blue as the Cougars put the squeeze on him. It's a pickup of, call it 3 for Struthers, and it'll be 3rd and short for Delaware Valley. They have to get 2 yards to the Kane 5. And a long 2. Simmons checks back in. 5:15 to play here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Game has been mostly played on Cade's side of the field, but no points to show for it so far for Del Val. Simmons takes the pitch, runs to the right side, cuts inside. He's got the first down and more. Is he in? Touchdown, Dante Simmons. A 7-yard touchdown scramble for Simmons. And the Aggies strike first. It's Delaware Valley 6 and Cane nothing. So Dante Simmons does most of the work on that 45-yard drive. And into the end zone for his first score of the year. He had 4 touchdowns a season ago. Aggies with Jack Hughes as the new place kicker, a sophomore. He will attempt the kick out of the hold of Timmy Lawless, and Hughes splits it just right. So a good first impression for the sophomore from Feasterville. And Delaware Valley, with 4:59 to play in the first quarter, now has a 7-0 lead. Division III football season started last night. 110 games on the schedule this weekend. 10-game regular season. A couple of Middle Atlantic Conference teams in action. Salisbury at Albright. Alvernia is at Ursinus. And that's it for tonight. Wilkes will play Keystone as Keystone will play its first game ever as a Division III football program. Salisbury on top of Albright, 28-0 midway through the second quarter. Ursinus leads Alvernia 7-0 midway through their first quarter. So Hughes to kick it away, I think, unless that's Pat Moran. It's a short kick fielded at the 15, 20, 25. Kick returner Jamison slows down, and he's tackled at about the 27-yard line by number 27. That's Damian Smith, sophomore defensive back from Easton, Pennsylvania. So we don't have live stats, but we do know Cane doesn't have a first down yet. First drive, they took over at the Del Val 40, got about 3 yards. Actually, they netted -2 on the first drive, and then they punted. Second drive, 3 and out. And this is the third. Antonio Scott takes a snap, gives the ball off, and a pickup of about 5 yards there. Good elusiveness from Zymir Mobley, the sophomore from Endicott, New York. Just west of Binghamton. He was a UE Tiger, Union Endicott High School. Mobley checks out. Scott gets the call from the sideline as Marquise Montemoino joins him for this possession. 2nd and 5. Montemoino to the near side. Scott, as the Aggies show blitz. And Scott passes. His ball's kicked in the air and picked off by Netterman. And Netterman is pushed all the way back into Aggies territory at the 48. Now Scott is saying that hit the ground, but I believe it hit the foot of Marcus Montemoino and launches about 15 yards down the field and ends up looking like a punt return for Blaine Netterman, and it is an interception, and the Aggies take over. It's just a bad break as Scott took the snap, took 3 quick steps forward as if he's going to run it, and then rifled it off the foot of Montemoino and into the hands of Blaine Netterman. So first turnover of the year for Del Val, a weird one. And Netterman had 6 interceptions a year ago. They're going to say that Netterman was tackled forward, well, the opposite of forward progress. As soon as he caught it, he was tackled by about 8 different guys. They're going to mark it right at midfield. So the Aggies go back to work up 7-0. Bohannon takes a snap. He's got all kinds of time. Throwing down the ball down the field for Barksdale, and it's picked off. As Bohannon loads up and fires it down the field, and he had Barksdale open and just threw a lob pass up into the defense, and it's taken away. So the Aggies get a break and give it right back. Barksdale was running wide open and had to wait for the ball. And by the time the ball landed, it landed in the hands of the Kane defender. So Kane gets the ball back immediately at their own 15. Scott goes back to work. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the right side. Vessel's applying the pressure. Pass is thrown and incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Delaware Valley, as a couple of players were putting a squeeze on the ball there. Justin Harris, along with Dante Mason. In 2nd and 10, that's the longest, well, no, second longest passes again. Scott had one that should have been a touchdown that Miles Toppin was unable to catch on the first drive of the game. Scott showing good poise. He's under siege every time he's back there, but he hasn't been sacked yet. 2nd and 10. Scott takes a snap. Here comes Mike Nobile. Nobile can't get him. Scott spins away. Scott looking for help. Pass is thrown. Catch is made. And Toppin hangs onto the ball. And let's see where they mark him. I think they're going to give Miles about 5 yards. Yeah, I'm a little better than that. Nope. 6 yards. A little better. A little better than that. As Jameer Prevard makes the tackle. 3rd and 4. Cougars looking for their first down of the season. 3:24 to play here in the first quarter. Scott, as Dante Jamison comes to the near side. Scott goes out of the shotgun. Handoff, and running back is flipped up in the air and lands 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, but 2 or 3 short of the first down. Dorr gets the carry. He goes 2 yards. It'll be 4th and about 1.5 yards, and the Cougars aren't going to play with fire. They'll punt it away. Cougars, again, are missing a guy, I think. Somebody comes running onto the field very late here for Kane. Punter will count him up. Looks like he's got the right number. Barksdale returned the last one inside Kane territory. A chance to do so again. Kick is high and short. Barksdale bobbles it but catches it at his own 45. He'll go backwards to his own 42 and is swarmed down there. So Barksdale, trying to turn that into a big play, loses 5 yards on the return. And the Aggies will take over from there. Nice tackle by Kane's Nick Sura and Aaron Cottrell, a pair of linebackers there for the Cougars. And the Aggies will take over once again. Very good field position. First possession of the game, they started at their own 33, which isn't terrible. But then after that, their own 20. And then 45 of Kane. And now once again their own 44. Bohannon with Simmons to his right. 7-0 Del Val. Simmons throws a quick slant. Pass is caught. And running forward for a few is Quadier Struthers. Struthers across about to midfield. It's a pickup of 6 for Quadier. Actually, that's John Davis, my mistake. Tavion Dorsey split to the far side. This time Bohannon will hand it off to Simmons. Simmons forward across midfield. About to the Kane 48. It's a pickup of 2, and there's one of the Aggies linemen writhing around in pain on the turf. That is number 75 for Del Val, Bam Banavidi, the junior right tackle from North Plainfield, New Jersey. So timeout taken by the officials here. Second and it'll be third and about a yard for Del Val from the Kane 47. Aggies lead 7-0. And everybody has a knee now, so Benavides comes off the field, putting very minimal pressure on his right leg. His replacement would be another junior, Shane Newell, out of Leesport, Pennsylvania. Is next up on the depth chart there for Del Val. Third and a little over a yard for Delaware Valley. They lead 7-0. We're in the final 90 seconds here of the first quarter. This is the Aggies' fifth drive. Handoff, Simmons. Simmons has the first down, carrying a defender into Kane territory down to the 41-yard line. Good hard run there by Dante Simmons as Dante Capozzoli gets the Simmons ride for about 6 yards, and the Aggies pick up the first down. Del Val with the ball here. 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. Struthers to the near side, along with one of the Dorseys. And it's a handoff to Struthers, and Struthers off the sweep inside the 40 to about the 38 or so. Let's pick up a 3 for Quadier, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Nasir Neal makes the tackle for Kane. 25 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Rough first quarter for Bohannon. He has 2 interceptions thrown, had a bunch of balls dropped. Seems surprised by the snap there. Slings it, catch is made at the 30, 25 of Kane, and down to about the 20, down to about the 19 or so. Goes number 19. That is Tristan Weathers, sophomore wide receiver from Sawarin, New Jersey. So first time touching the ball, and that is the end of the first quarter. Aggies will have it 1st and 10 from the Kane 24. When we start the second quarter, Aggies lead 7-0.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more at studentaid.gov. At the U.S. Department of
Welcome back. Delaware Valley starts the second quarter at the Kane 24, 1st and 10. Bohannon behind center, hands the ball off. This is Struthers, who bounces off a man, stays on his feet. 15-10, 5-foot race to the end zone. Struthers dives. Touchdown! Quadier Struthers, 24 yards to the house. And the man who played just 2 games, or a little over 1 a season ago, in for the score. Struthers, small guy, low center of gravity, gets kind of lost in the defense there and takes off like a rocket for the score. So Struthers and Simmons both have a touchdown now, and the Aggies with a 13-0 lead as Hughes comes back on. Snap is there, kick is away, it is up And Hughes splits the uprights, and the ball bounces off the safety fence deep on the right side. Aggies with a 14-0 lead. One play into the second quarter. So that drive about 57 yards. Good catch by Tristan Weathers for a big chunk, and then Quadier Struthers gets the rest. Well, the Aggies' defense has been as advertised here. Yet to give up a first down. Offense, and don't have to throw it very far for their guys to get open in space. And Bohannon has a cannon. I mean, a shortstop in baseball when he transferred in. I don't know if he plays for the Aggies baseball team, but he can sling it. But threw 2 interceptions and had some early drops in the first quarter. So the Aggies going more conservative, but still effective. Line has kept him clean, and he's had an extremely clean pocket to work in all night long. In comparison to Antonio Scott, who's been running for his life but hasn't been sacked yet. Kick taken at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all kinds of bodies piling up around Dante Jamison, who is tackled just short of the 30. Lots of Aggies in there, including Tyler Fulmore, senior linebacker at Gettysburg. Fulmore, a transfer from Alderson Brodus. I had to look this up. That's a Division II program in West Virginia. So Brodus, one of those guys who get an extra year of eligibility, and I'm not sure if he has any kind of connection to the Delaware Valley area. He's from Gettysburg. That's about 3 hours away. It's not exactly local. Scott and the Cougars go back to work now, down 2 scores, 14-0. Still looking for their first down. Scott loads up, pass thrown, catch made. Wide receiver squeezes forward for about 7 yards. As Scott was dropped to the turf by Trent Freeze, and there's a flag on the play. First flag of the night. Aggies were one of the most penalized teams in the country 2 years ago. And let's see what the call is here. Officials conferring. Turn our crowd mic up just in case they have one. Aggies believe it's on them. So do the Cougars. And so does their official.
Number 23 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run will result in a first down.
So personal foul on Del Val's 23. That's Aaron Mayers. So 7 yards on the catch, 15 more on the penalty. And the Cougars are in Delaware Valley territory for the first time tonight, albeit with some help from Del Val. 1st and 10 from the Delaware Valley 47. Scott out of the backfield now. Man comes in motion. Scott hands the ball off, and the ball carrier actually does a good job to avoid getting tackled for a loss of 3 and springs forward for a gain of 3, and that's Dante Jamison again. The sophomore who was used almost exclusively as a kick returner and a punt returner 2 seasons ago. He's from Pennsauken, New Jersey. He's touched the ball a bunch here tonight. Michael Nobile makes the tackle. Aggies have not had a tackle for, well, no, that's not true. They had one to start the game. Have not had a sack yet. 2nd and 7. Scott, as Dorr comes to his left. Scott takes a snap. Out of the pocket, under pressure, and this time he is sacked. Knocked to the turf by Shamir Vessels. As Vessels levels him for a loss of 5. Well-disguised blitz. The nose tackle dropped back into coverage and then circled around. And when Scott moved up out of the pocket, Vessels hit him like a truck. He ran right through Scott. So first sack of the year belongs to Shamir. And it's 3rd and 12 for Kane, who's still in Del Val territory, but just barely now at the 49. 13-13 to play, second quarter. Aggies lead 14-0. Scott takes a snap, looks to his right, looks to his left. They're going to throw to screen. Catch is made, and then the ball is lost by Dorr. The ball pops free, and the Aggies say they have it. The officials, I think, disagree. But Dorr caught the ball. Scott did a great job just to dump it off. And Dorr caught it and got hammered, and the ball came flying out of the air, but lands in his own hands. Ends up being no gain on the play, and the Cougars will have to kick. And Kevin Piguero back out to punt it away. That can't be Kevin Piguero. They must have two different 99s, unless their nose tackle is about 5'8". Piguero, he got hammered. No flag on the play. I'm not sure how, as Piguero got wrecked. Ball goes out of bounds at the Delaware Valley, 23-2. I guess he landed on top of him. And I'm looking to see if 99 stays on the field here. Kane has a couple of players, a couple of numbers with dual jerseys. Dante Jamison and Tamir Briggs are both number 7. I think they have 2 6s. Jake Zarillo and Anthony Bassani, who had an interception. And they must have 2 different 99s, too, because Kevin Piguero does not look like a nose tackle. He looks like a punter. 1st and 10 for Delaware Valley from their own 21. 12:29 to play. Simmons hands the ball, or Bohannon hands the ball off to Simmons. Simmons slashes forward to the 25. Modest pickup of about 2 yards. And the man who made the tackle for Kane is still down. Can't make out the number, so I won't fathom a guess. As you listen to the band here. Well, injury timeout, so we'll take it with him. Delaware Valley leads 14-0, 12:18 to play. We'll be back in just a bit.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Welcome back. David Trinidad Jr. was the injured Cougar. He also made the tackle. Number 58 goes to the sideline. 2nd and 8 for Delaware Valley. 12:17 to play here in the second quarter. Aggies lead 14-0. Bohannon out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, under pressure, and just throws it into the ground. That play was blown up from the beginning. As Bohannon just dumps it off to avoid the sack from... Now, that's got to be another double number, because it's Trevor Garland, number 12, would be the backup or one of the third-string quarterback for Kane, and I don't think that's who it was. 3rd and 7 for Del Val. Defense has only allowed 1 first down, and it came on a penalty, so I think the Aggies would play relatively conservative here and give Kane a longer field. 3rd and 7, Bohannon drops back. He's got time, throws across the middle, pass is dropped. Right into the hands of Delaware Valley's Bryce Dorsey, and Dorsey should have had a pickup of about 20, but he drops the ball. It has been a recurring problem. That was perfectly designed. Dorsey was open. He just dropped it. So the Cougars should get pretty good field position here. Dante Jameson set to return the kick from Miller. Miller kicks it very high, but very short. It takes a Aggies bounce, sort of. Wobbles down at the Kane 45. So not a good kick for Miller, as he looked like he got it off the top of his foot. No return. Cougars take back over at their own 45. Aggies lead 14-0, 11:52 to play here in the first quarter. Live stats now online. Bohannon's numbers 4 for 11 for 2 interceptions and 33 yards. And he's had 4 passes dropped, which has not helped. Dante Simmons with 56 yards. And pass thrown to Miles Toppin, incomplete, 2nd and 10. I don't know if the band is making up for lost time, but man, they just don't stop. They just keep playing the whole game. Scott claps his hands, starts his man in motion briefly. 2nd and 10 here for the Cougars. Scott takes a snap, rolls to his right. He's got a good pocket now under pressure. Pass is thrown and picked off. Threw it to the wrong team, and the Aggies take it away at the 41 and then pushed all the way back for Del Val. Interception for Jameer Prevard. So Prevard makes the catch. Scott, that was the cleanest pocket he's had all night, and you just threw it to the wrong team. 2nd interception of the game. Quarterbacks now. I'll get you their numbers, but it's not pretty. Combined, they are 8 for 22 with 4 interceptions and 41 yards. Aggies take over at their own 40. Bohannon out of the shotgun. Catches a snap to his right. Looking down the field, throwing down the field, looking for Barksdale, and Barksdale that time unable to circle back under the ball. The Aggies looked deep. And 2nd and 10 for Del Val. Bohannon, that's going to be a challenge for him to try and drop those in. Because, again, the wide receivers for Del Val, I haven't seen Aaron Nelson yet, or have not said his name. He's out there now, number 10. Just have not thrown the ball yet. 2nd and 10. Handoff on a delay to Simmons, and Simmons gets flipped up in the air and body slammed into the turf at the Del Val 41. Just 1 yard there on the gain. And the Aggies will have a 3rd and long. Aaron Cottrell makes the tackle. Out of Vilas, New Jersey. So 3rd and long here for Del Val. Kane defense a year ago, 39% against on 3rd down. That is not great. That's okay. Doesn't really matter what the Aggies converted because they were a totally different offense 2 years ago. Bohannon takes a snap, has time, backpedaling. Now he scampers out of the pocket, looking to run. 45, 50, 1st down, out of bounds at the Kane 45. Good decision by Daquan Bohannon. He rambles for about 16 yards and an Aggies 1st down. They say he was out of bounds at the 47 of Kane, still more than enough for the pickup. 12-yard run for Dante. 3 carries for 23 yards. Tavian Dorsey to the right side. Handoff goes to Simmons. Simmons from the 45 to about the 44 before he's tackled. Pickup of 3 for Dante Simmons. Aaron Cottrell with another stop. Aggies outgaining Kane 166-21. And for Kane, they have one first down. 9:50 to play here in the second quarter. Barksdale comes in motion. Bohannon takes a snap, looks to the right, back to the left, passes through the hands once again. Another drop, this time right through the hands of Ryan Laughlin. So 3rd and 7 for Del Val. Laughlin to the near side. Laughlin to the far side as the fans get into it here at Kane. And timeout taken by Delaware Valley here on 3rd and 8. Aggies' first timeout. One change that was made in the intervening offseason, the long offseason, was that the Aggies now have one defensive coordinator instead of two. For a number of years, you had Mark DeLucia in the booth and Nick Brady on the field. Mark DeLucia moved on. He is the defensive coordinator under John Marska at Albright. And Brady promoted to assistant head coach along with Greco. Duke Greco is the head coach here. Rest of the Aggies coaching staff, for the most part, intact. Greg Fedick on the offensive line, Mike Isgro. Special teams, Amos Wilson, Roger Wright. Eddie DeLeo now on the coaching staff. He was a very good middle linebacker for Del Val 2 seasons ago. 3rd and 8. Aggies at the Kane 45. 9:38 to play. Del Val leads by 14. Bohannon, all kinds of time, and now he's under pressure, and he will get it off, and incomplete. Boy, Bohannon it just won't go down and get sacked, and the pass is incomplete. Bohannon does a good job to keep that from being an 8-yard loss. But the Aggies, once again, offense sputters, and punting unit back onto the field. Dante Jamison, who's been a busy man, back to receive yet another punt from Bobby Miller. Snap is there. Good kick from Miller this time. Jamison will watch it sail over his head and into the end zone. Too good a kick. Touchback, and the Cougars will restart their offense there. So far, Kane's offense, 7 rushes for 12 yards. Only 1 sack for Shamir Vessels. Throwing the ball, Scott is 4 for 10 with 2 interceptions for 9 yards. His long pass of the night is 6. Defensive leaders for Del Val. Brevard and Netterman both have interceptions. Keon Taylor and Bassani for Kane. Scott hands the ball off, and that goes nowhere. Ball carrier, whoever it was immediately enveloped by a wave of white, and he lost a yard. You know the defense is on it when you can't even see the ball carrier because he's gone the moment the play starts. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Beltran was the running back there for Kane, new name. Scott, throw across the middle. Catch is made. Wide receiver pays the price for it. Picks up 7 yards before he's smacked at the 25. And it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Cougars. That's now Scott's longest pass of the night. It's 7 yards. Mason makes the hit on Jamison. Dante Mason, a free safety from Philly. Aggies, a lot of Philadelphia products and a lot of seniors. On defense for seniors, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, not as many as I thought. Guess they're mostly on offense then. 3rd and 5, 8:08 play. Aggies up by 7. Scott has the ball, hit him in the chest, coughs it up, and the Aggies cover it up at the 20. It should be Del Val ball. Scrum continues. It will be 3rd and forever, even if the Aggies didn't recover, as Scott just had it hit him in the chest and bounce off. Now there's a flag. I don't know who has the ball. The Aggies say we do, and they do. We'll see what the flag is, but I don't know if Scott expected a different snap count or what, but that just rifled off his chest. And the 3rd turnover of the game by Kane. That's the 5th time. That's a 3rd fumble, the first time they've lost one. Officials will sort out the mess. It came well after the play was over. And the Aggies will have it 1st and 10 from somewhere in Kane territory. And now Kane's offense, 3 turnovers and 1 first down, and Antonio Scott compounds the problem by shoving somebody after the play. So not only does he give up the ball, he gives the Aggies an extra 10 yards or so, and the Aggies will have it 1st and 10 from the 10. So it'll be 1st and goal. Daquan Bohannon comes out. Trips to the far side. Near side is empty. Man starts in motion. That's Struthers. Under 8 minutes to play. Just a simple handoff to Simmons. Simmons slips through one tackler. Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. Against the Tide. He gets nothing. 2nd and 10. Good stop there by the defense for Kane. Ray Gorney among many others on the tackle. 2nd and goal from the 10. About halfway through the 2nd quarter. Play has slowed down as the both teams exchange offensive mistakes here in the first half. Bohannon hands the ball off. That's Struthers, and he doesn't get much either. He gets, half a yard maybe. 3rd and 9 coming up. And a man down for Del Val. Crowd mic. We'll turn that off as fans right in front of us introduce themselves to each other. Aggies had Bam Benavidi hurt in the 1st quarter. I am looking to see if he's out there or not. As Amos Wilson, or as he's listed on the roster, Famous Wilson, comes out to check on the fallen Aggie, who gets up with some help and will go off the field more or less on his own powers. That's Struthers, the ball carrier. So Struthers has a touchdown. Again, Struthers played very limited action last year. He was hurt in the 2nd game of the year against Wesley College. And Struthers is looking a little more stable as he reaches the sideline on his own power, so hopefully he'll be able to come back. 3rd and 8 for Del Val. Struthers with a very painful 2-yard gain. 7:02 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Aggies started this drive at the Kane 10. 2 plays, 2 yards so far. 3rd and goal from the 8. Bohannon out of the shotgun. Takes a snap. Starts to run. Through the arms of one defender, up to the other. Lunges for the end zone. And I think he's just short. He's down at the 2. As Bohannon runs for about 6.5. And the Aggies can do whatever they want here. They're up 14-0. They're going to try they could try and get the next 2 on the ground and give Kane 98 yards to go on a team that has had 1 first down all day. They could give Jack Hughes a swing. He's looked really good on his first 2 on his 2 extra points, but they're going to try and make it a full 3-score lead here instead. Bohannon with Simmons in behind him. 4th and goal from the 2. And Kane calls timeout. Well, next weekend we'll be on the air with pictures as Delaware Valley plays the first of 6 home games. The Aggies take on Montclair State. 1 o'clock kickoff. Aggies with 2 tough games back-to-back. Actually, 3 tough games in a row. Home for Montclair State, who is receiving votes in the top 25 of the D3Football.com poll. Then home for Stevenson, which if the MAC preseason poll is any indication, is the Aggies are the favorite. They haven't lost a conference game in years now. Stevenson will come to Del Val to play the Aggies. And then the Aggies are on the road at Lycoming. The Aggies only have 4 road games this year, but 3 of them are really long drives, at least by MAC standards. 1 at Lyco, that's Williamsport. 1 at Wilkes, where the Aggies have always struggled. Often win, but always struggle. And then 1 at Misericordia, where the Aggies, over the years, have only played at Misericordia twice, ever. Because Misericordia was off the schedule for a couple of years, and still a relatively new program, too. 4th and goal for Del Val. Bohannon will go shotgun. 4th and goal from the 2. Man comes in motion. Bohannon hands it off. Simmons hesitates, runs forward, and he is no signal yet, but he's in. Touchdown. Dante Simmons wedges himself behind the offensive line, and credit that to the 5 guys up front as they push forward and the Aggies get 6. Good job off the left side of that line. Jeremy Adams, Austin Regan, and Corey Shriver basically push their way into the end zone, and Simmons goes along for the ride. Jack Hughes on to attempt the extra point. Shane Oros to snap. Timmy Lawless to hold. Snap is there. Kick is away. It is no good. Plenty of distance, but missed it wide left. And with 6:03 to play in the first half, Delaware Valley expands their lead. It's the Aggies 20 and the Cougars nothing. Check on the other Middle Atlantic Conference scores for you. Again, 2 teams in action today. Halfway through the 3rd quarter now. Salisbury all over Albright, 35-14. Albright and Ursinus locked in a close one. Golden Wolves trailed the Ursinus College Bears 7-6. Delaware Valley will have kind of the same experience with Alvernia that they did with Misericordia, a program that starts itself a couple of years and then drops off the Aggies' schedule for a couple of years. MAC has more teams than spots available, so they don't play a full conference schedule. Kick taken by Jameson yet again, and Jameson up to the 30, about the 32. Good return for Jameson, who's had a lot of opportunities to return punts and kicks here. Kane defense comes back out. Luke Scott, or sorry, not Luke Scott. That would be somebody different. Antonio Scott. Dante Jameson checks into the game. .5:57 to play. Cougars' first drive of the game started at the Del Val 32, but they went backwards 5 yards. Scott hands it off. This is Beltran, and Beltran belted after a pickup of about 1. And pushing and shoving, and I think Trent Freeze is going to pick up a personal foul for Del Val. He came flying in way after the play was over. So I think Kane's going to get their second first down of the night, both off of penalties.
only a 1-yard pickup on the play for Patrick Beltran, the freshman out of Vineland, New Jersey. Oh. Well, Aggies luck out there. I thought that would be on them, but it's going to be on Ryan McCabe, the sophomore lineman. Left tackle for the Cougars from Cream Ridge, New Jersey. And so instead of it being 2nd and 9, it's going to be about 2nd and 24. 5:42 to play. I don't know if the Cougars have 24 yards of offense yet. No, they don't. Well, yes, they just do. They have 28. So 2nd and 23 officially. Scott drops back, backpedals, being chased, pass is thrown. All knocked away out of bounds as Scott was in danger of getting tackled in his own end zone, rifles it off, but incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 23. Scott, just running for his life as Shamir Vessels, who has 1 sack, was closing in on a second one there. Kane has to get to the Delaware to their own 43. Snap will come from their own 20. Scott out of the shotgun. Antonio waits for the ball. Takes a snap. Here comes the pressure. Scott running, scrambling, looking, and dropped. And I don't know if he'll get a sack or not, but the tackle is made by, and there's another late flag as Mike Nobile was in the neighborhood. See who this flag is on. Nobile made the tackle for loss. Did he also pick up the foul? Would have been 4th and about 25. Instead, we'll see what the call is. Well, Kane says it's on Del Val. Yes, it is. Now, Mike Nobile giveth and Mike Nobile taketh away. All-American with his first tackle for loss of the season, but also his first personal foul of the season. And so instead of it being 4th and 25, it's 1st and 10 for Kane from their own 33, which is basically exactly where this drive started. So we just took 3 minutes off the clock and went nowhere. First and 10 for the Cougars. Scott takes a snap. Under pressure again. Vessels streaking in, and they got him. As he sneaks to the turf, and I think that's Mike Nobile again. Or is that his brother? It's his brother. It's Anthony that time, who came off the far sideline, and Anthony Nobile sacks Scott for a loss of about 12. Second sack of the game for Del Val. Good to see from Anthony, who had 4 sacks in limited action a year ago. But now it's back to 2nd and 23 as the Cougars just kind of floating back and forth between their own 20 and their own 33 here. 4:19 to play. Scott out of the shotgun. Takes a snap. Pass is thrown. Incomplete. Looking high for his wide receiver. Or looking for his wide receiver and threw it high. I don't know if he was looking high for Jamison, but that's where the ball ended up going. Good coverage on the play for Del Val from Aaron Myers, who started, I believe, as a safety for Del Val. So he's comfortable in pass protection. 4:11 to play. Cougars have 2 first downs, both of them on Delaware Valley penalties. Aggies lead 20-0. Scott on 3rd and very long. They hand the ball off to Beltran, and Beltran gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. On the draw, Beltran is wrapped up and dropped. Tackle made by Shamir Vessels again. So the Cougars, well, punt it away again, 3:49 and counting. And Aggies will have good field position again, barring a whale of a punt here from Kane. Barksdale at his own 41. Kick is away, high, and takes a Aggies bounce and dies at the 42. So the Aggies will take over there. Tanner Ash downing it. Nick Firth is your punter. Not at all Kevin Pagero. Aggies will have 2 timeouts, 3:25, and a 20-0 lead as the defense has been special and the offense has been okay. Running game has been good for Del Val. Passing game has not. Aggies 144 yards on the ground. This is a pass sort of to Quadier Struthers. It's a swing pass. He comes out of the backfield to the 43 or so, 44. It's a pickup of 2 yards. That's actually Barksdale, excuse me. And Neal chases him out after a gain of 2.5. Clock continues to run. Bohannon out of the shotgun. Snap, looks off Simmons. Has all day to throw the ball, unloads, and the catch is made. Catch is made at the Kane 42-yard line. Corralling it and going to the turf is Tavion Dorsey. Dorsey with the reception. Aggies get more than enough for the first down. And 1st and 10 for Del Val from the Cougars 42. Bohannon takes a snap, hands it off. And forward for a few for Del Val. That's number 5 for Del Val. That is Ralph Highland, senior out of Philadelphia. First time we've said his name ever. Quadier Struthers was hurt on the last drive. Dante Simmons had a touchdown, so Ralph Highland now out there. 2nd and 8, 2:17 to play. Del Val at the Kane 40. Handoff on a draw to Simmons. Simmons to the 35-30. Splits a man, 25, 20, and down at the 19. Little misdirection there as they sent Highland one way and Simmons the other. And Simmons runs for 19 yards. 12 carries, 82 yards now for Dante, and the Aggies with 1:59 to play lead it 20-0. And have the ball at the 20 looking for more. Highland to the far side. Tavion Dorsey to the near side. Simmons comes in motion. Excuse me, that's not Simmons. That's Highland again. And Highland gets about 3 maybe on the sweep. 2nd and a long 6 for Delaware Valley from the Cougars' 17-yard line. John Davis to the far side. Covered up by Tristan Weathers. Near side is empty. Simmons to the right. Bohannon takes it. Pass is thrown. Catch is made. And Tristan Weathers with a nice catch there from the sophomore. Flag on the play. And it's a holding penalty on Del Val. Good throw from Bohannon, and it has been that kind of first half for Daquan. Again, he started the first drive of the game. He had 3 balls dropped, including a would-be touchdown. Threw an interception at the end of that drive. 2 drives later had 2 more balls dropped, including a wide-open pass on 3rd and long. Next drive, threw an interception. And that time he threaded the needle, but he got a little too much help from his offensive line. So 2nd and 17 or so, 2nd and 6, 3rd and chain say scoreboard says 3rd and 16. It's 2nd and 16 for Del Val. Aggies split Isaiah Calhoun to the near side, and a timeout taken by, not sure who, but the Aggies took a lot of time there between the penalty and the huddle and lining up. They only have 51 seconds left. And now they're going back 5 more yards because they ran out had a false start. Well, this one's going the wrong direction. 2nd and about 21 now with 51 seconds to play from the Kane 31. The marching band for Kane gets ready to entertain. Aggies have 2 timeouts left, but are going the wrong direction here. Aggies 3 touchdowns all on the ground, and more discussion, this time between Duke Greco and the official. Okay. So because it was a false start, it would be a 10-second penalty, and it would take it down to 41 seconds, but they'll use their 2nd timeout, and they'll have 1 remaining. Mentioned that the Aggies will be at home for their next 2, Montclair and Stevenson, and then at Lycoming. Home for Kings, back up here in this area. For what I haven't looked, but it's got to be a Friday night game against FDU Florham. It has been years since we've been at FDU Florham on a Saturday afternoon. And then at Misericordia, home for Lebanon Valley, at Wilkes, and then home for Widener. Duke Greco in his 7th season now, looking for career win number 60, 59-11. As the head coach here at Del Val. Coach of the year last season. Aggies alum. Let's see what Duke has in mind here for 2nd and 21 from the Kane 31. 51 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter. Barksdale in motion. Simmons to the right of Bohannon, who takes a snap. Has time. Throwing across the middle. Man wide open. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Wide open touchdown strike to Tavion Dorsey. And the Aggies are up 26-0. That was a pretty throw. And Bohannon connects with Dorsey for the score. Now, Dorsey had been open earlier. He dropped one. But that time, a perfect strike. And the Aggies up by 26. Extra point coming here. Beautiful throw from Bohannon, who had all day to sling it. Snap is there. Hold is there. Kick is away. And it is there. And the Aggies are up 27-0 with 44 seconds to play in what has turned out to be a very long 2nd quarter. We'll take a break, come back for one more Kane possession.
Want to get the most out of your exercise? This is registered dietitian nutritionist Melissa Dobbins. A few hours before you work out, eat right. Have peanut butter and honey on whole grain toast, a turkey and Swiss sandwich with fruit, or oatmeal with banana, almonds, and fat-free milk. Then a half hour before you exercise, eat some fruit and drink a bottle of water. You'll train longer, work out harder, and delay fatigue. Eating right helps. For a registered dietitian nutritionist near you, visit eatright.org.
Oh, beautiful throw there from Daquan Bohannon, his first passing touchdown of the season. 31 yards to Tavion Dorsey. And the Aggies tack on another score. It's now 27-0, third score of this quarter. As the ball is booted, and one more time, here comes Dante Jamison. This time he runs to the near side, skips by a guy, and is wrapped up at the 21-yard line. And here comes yet another flag in as the official threw that from miles away and ended up pelting one of the Aggies with it. Tackle was made by number 30, Ahmad Moore, out of Ocean Township. And Kane, with yet another penalty, will send them back. Instead of getting the ball from their own 23-ish, they'll be inside their own red zone. Now, Kane may just want to take a knee here with the way this half has gone and being in their own, deep in their own territory. Although I guess young team, down 27, nothing ventured, nothing gained. 36 seconds to play in the second quarter. Scott will go out of the shotgun with Beltran to his right. Just hands it off, and Beltran gets hammered. And he lost 4 on the play as Beltran just hits a wall as soon as he touches the ball. And that will be the last play of the first half unless Kane is inclined to run one more. Big hit there. I don't know, didn't quite make out whether it was Justin Briggs or Anthony Tedesco. Whoever it was a very short play. And that will be the end of the first half. Aggies defense, 3 turnovers. They only allow 2 first downs, both on penalties, and one of them was followed by a sack. So the Aggies defense, stellar, and the offense knocking off some rust. Aggies lead. It's halftime here in Union, New Jersey. Your score, Delaware Valley, 27, Kane nothing.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Welcome back. Well, good to be back out on the air, and the Aggies, after a slow start, in front 27-0 at the break, came two first downs, 3 turnovers in the first half on offense, 2 touchdowns for Dante Simmons on the ground, Quadier Strathers adds one, and Daquan Bohannon with a laser beam to Tavion Dorsey capped the scoring in the first half. We're going to take a handful of minutes here. We're going to let you enjoy the band. If we're inclined to tune into the live stream on video for any particular moment, they're really, really good. We'll let you enjoy the music. We'll be back in just a bit. Well, a very nice performance there from the Kane University Marching Band. As it really is a very nice game day, or game night, I guess the case is, atmosphere here. Union, New Jersey, a little bit off the Garden State Parkway in the New York City metro area. Kane University campus with the train station, the Union, New Jersey train station just outside, or just inside the gates. It's a lot bigger than the Doylestown stop. At the football field here, Alumni Stadium, nestled into campus. Got the concession stands open and the band playing. Some folks with masks, some without. A good game day atmosphere and just fun to be back and fun to be back out on the field. The Delaware Valley, as we mentioned in the intro, with a number of guys who are 23 and over. The average age on the defense is 24, I believe. The average age on the offensive line is 24. Got a number of guys who are taking fifth years. The Nobile brothers, assuming they come back and play again next year as seniors, would be in their sixth year because of the injuries and such. And that's not going to be altogether unusual if you follow Division III football through d3football.com. They had an interview with the head coach from Wheaton out near Chicago, and he was talking about guys who were 23, 24, 25, 26, just with the extra year of eligibility, jiggering their schedule and maintaining those credit hours or entering grad school programs. And again, just hope that we get through the season with everybody healthy and playing as many games as you can. Take a look at your statistics now for you. First half, dominated by Delaware Valley. Aggies in that first half. Trying to make sense of some of these numbers here. Well, Kane in that first half had 14 carries for -3 yards, 5 catches for 15 yards. So 12 yards of offense in the first half for Kane. And I'm not sure you really need to say too much more than that. Antonio Scott, who's, he was not the quarterback last 2 years ago. I don't know if he was in the one game that Kane played in the spring. But assuming that this is just his first or second game of the year, this is a tough way to start the season against one of the best defenses in Division III in the country. And he's, numbers show that. 5 completions and 13 attempts, 2 interceptions, fumbled once, sacked once. And just a long first half there for Scott. Not much going on the ground, obviously, when you have -3 yards. Miles Toppin has 2 catches for 8 yards, and the Cougars had a chance to go up 6-0 when the Aggies threw an interception. Anthony Bassani returned into Del Val territory, and then on a 3rd and long, Scott was nearly sacked by Nobile, spun around, ran across the field. Toppin broke off the pattern. The Aggies defenders lost Toppin, and Toppin was open in the end zone and then just basically couldn't hang on to the ball. And that was about all that. And after that, Kane's offense has been pretty much non-existent. For the Aggies on offense, a good last drive polishes off what was a rusty first half for the passing game. Daquan Bohannon, 7 completions and 18 attempts, 80 yards, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Now, he did have 5 or 6 balls dropped, which did not help. But not an overwhelming first half there for Aggies' new signal caller. Good first half on the ground, though. Dante Simmons, 12 carries for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns, including 1 on 4th and goal from the 2. He also had a 31-yard score. Quadier Struthers, 4 carries for 32 yards. Now, Quadier went out, shaken up on his own power. He did also have a touchdown in that first half. Bohannon did a good job running the ball. He had 4 carries for 28 yards. John Davis, 1 carry for 23. And Ralph Highland, a couple of carries for 7 yards. Tavion Dorsey, 2 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. On defense for Del Val, Yusuf Aladinoff was credited with a sack that I thought went to Shamir Vessels, but they're saying that Aladinov had the sack. Nobile with a couple of QB hurries. Let's look at these tackles here. Tackles for loss in that first half. Anthony Tedesco, Anthony Nobile, Shamir Vessels. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And Yusuf Aladinov. In that first half, Tedesco led the team in tackles with 6. Michael Nobile with 1 stop in that first half for the All-American. Aaron Cottrell was everywhere. He had 10 tackles for the Cougars. Last year, or 2 years ago, I'm going to make that mistake all year long, so just bear with me. Last season, Kane, on its opening possession, had a safety when Michael Nobile tackled the ball carrier in the end zone. And then on its next possession, fumbled the ball, and Anthony Nobile picked it up for a touchdown. And before you were 7 minutes into the season, it was 9-0 the Nobiles. Quieter night so far, but Brevard and Blaine Ederman both have interceptions. And, well, quieter night in terms of individual numbers. But again, Kane has 12 yards of offense in the first half. Let's take a look at the Middle Atlantic Conference scoreboard for you. I said earlier that there were 2 Middle Atlantic Conference teams in action. Shame on me, there's a third. And it's the team that's got the closest score. Albright at home, taking on Salisbury. That game is not close. Seagulls 42, Albright 14. Start of the fourth quarter in Reading. Alvernia, the Golden Wolves, on the road, a short trip to Ursinus, Collegeville, to be exact. Ursinus leading the Golden Wolves 14-6. Delaware Valley will not play Alvernia this year, and they will not play Albright this year. Those are the 2 teams that are off the schedule in the unbalanced MAC. Last team, one that is on the schedule, and in a close game. It's Merchant Marine leading FDU Florham 21-20. First college game for Jimmy Robertson, the former RPI Red Hawk quarterback, who's now the head coach for Fairleigh Dickinson. Tomorrow, take a look at the scoreboard. Kings in action. Monarchs at home against Moravian. Wilkes University is at home. They host Keystone. First football game ever for the Giants out of La Plume, Pennsylvania, up near Scranton. Keystone not in the Middle Atlantic Conference. Lebanon Valley at home. It'll be the Flying Dutchman and the Diplomats as Franklin and Marshall comes to town. Stevenson at home. They play Johns Hopkins. That's a tough first game for the Mustangs. And Trottle never shy about his scheduling. Widener on the road. They play Rowan. Battle of the Delaware River there. That game will be in Glassboro this year. 2 schools usually open up with each other. Aggies, of course, will close the season in their Keystone Cup rivalry with the Pride. Lycoming plays their Stag Hat rivalry. Amos Alonzo Stag, who's the namesake of the Division III football championship. Also the namesake of a bronze hat trophy. It's a trophy that looks like a bronze hat. Lyco will be in Selinsgrove to take on the Crusaders. Oh, I'm sorry, they've changed their name. The Riverhawks. And I think that about rounds out. I'm missing somebody. I don't know if they're playing. Mr. Accordia is not playing. They would be the last of the Middle Atlantic Freedom Conference teams. Montclair State, who Del Val will see next weekend. Boy, they're not shy about the way they open up the season. They open up the season at RPI, who's usually pretty good, and that's, I guess it's a reasonable drive from Montclair, Upper Montclair, New Jersey to Rensselaer, New York, basically suburban Albany. Much rather do that drive on September 4th and December 4th. Aggies set to kick it away. Cougars back yet again is Dante Jameson, who had, let's see, how many, well, he touched the ball 5 times on punt and kick returns. He also had a couple of carries with the Cougars. Kick is away. Jameson comes up, makes the catch at his own 20. 21, 30, and down at about the 33. Jamison tackled by the dreadlocked Justin Briggs. And the Cougars will come back out on offense. New Jersey Athletic Conference that has lost a bunch of teams over the years. Wesley closed. Frostburg State, who won the conference the year before that, shifted to Division II. Southern Virginia, which is obviously not in New Jersey, is also not in the conference. They're in the USA South now. So the conference has a bunch of openings, and the conference that they pair most directly with is the MAC, but the MAC has 11 teams. 1st and 10. Scott. Oh, hands the ball off, and the ball is lost, and the Aggies say they have it as the ball carrier. Yeah. Davian Dorr just lost the ball out of his hands. It was one of the very few times tonight that a ball carrier has not had an Aggie on him immediately. And Dorr ended up fumbling the ball. Scott, the quarterback, got obliterated, and Dorr coughs it up, and the Aggies recover at the Kane 27. So the Cougars' first drive of the second half is one play and out. First and 10 for the Cougars, or for the Aggies now, from the Kane 27. Bohannon with Bryce Dorsey in motion. And a quick throw. Catch is made. And catch out of the backfield. 10, 5, and drop down there. Barksdale, I believe, is either Barksdale or Davis. It is Barksdale, and Barksdale caught it, and nobody covered him. And so Barksdale, who's very dangerous in space, catches it and runs for 20. First and 10, or first and goal for Del Val from the 9. Band plays on. Boy, they are just indefatigable. Means they won't stop. First and goal. Bohannon hands it off. Simmons up to the 9, spun around. Down to about the 6 goes Dante before he's pulled to the turf. Tackled by Jama Njai, the junior defensive tackle from right here in Union. Aggies will make some substitutions. Tristan Weathers, actually it's Des Austin who checks out, as does Ryan Laughlin. Second and goal from the 6. Opening drive of the second half here for the Aggies after the Cougars fumbled on their very first snap. Del Val already leads 27-0. Bohannon, pass, throw, knocked down. Beautifully played there by Keon Taylor, who has an interception, and the Willingboro native just played that perfectly. The interior passing lane, swats it away. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 6. Dorsey, the intended receiver. Tavian Dorsey, to be more specific. Again, I don't know what the story is with Aaron Nelson. He's the Aggies' leading returning receiver. Dan Allen was the leading receiver last year, and again, anytime you graduate someone who you can say was the best ever at their position, you've got big shoes to fill. And Allen was easily the best tight end the Aggies have ever had. First team All-American. It takes some time to figure out how to replace that productivity. And now they're going to hand it off to Simmons. Simmons leg churning. 5, 4. That's it. He got maybe half a yard. It'll be 4th and goal from the 5 for Del Val. Let's see if they want to go for it again. When your defense is now yielded, nope, they're going to bring the field goal team on. Well, the Aggies had tried a couple of kickers last season. Colin Fasolka was one of them. Nick Restano was the other. And now it's it's Jack Hughes, 3 for 4 on extra points. This will be a 22-yard field goal. Dead middle of the field. First field goal attempt of the career of Jack Hughes. Snap is there, a little low, handled, kick is away. It's a line drive, and it is good. Jack Hughes, a laser beam off his foot, did not have a real pretty spin, but you can give a lot of credit there to Timothy Lawless, who dug that out and set up the snap for Hughes to hit it in stride. So, 12:31 to play. Aggies don't get a lot of field goals. Don't attempt a lot of them. They get one here, 30-0. Aggies capitalize on the Kane mistake to start the second half. They go officially 25 yards, and then the Jack Hughes 22-yard field goal. Delaware Valley now leads 30-0. Hughes, a busy guy, kicks it off. Whoops, that time it went out of bounds. He was a sophomore from Feasterville. Don't recall him being on the team 2 years ago. Remember, you would have kind of two incoming classes here. The class of 2020, who only played spring ball, and some practices in the fall, and then the class of 2021. Legal procedure penalty on the kickoff out of bounds gives the Cougars the ball at the 35. Will bring Antonio Scott back out for another try here. Aggies leading this one 30-0. I thought you weren't supposed to play as a band while the game was going on. I have to take down the crowd. I can take down the crowd mic. It'll help you, but it won't help me. They're really loud. Scott, quick throw. Catch is made by Miles Toppin, and Toppin is dropping for a loss of 1. Toppin swarmed Justin Harris all over him as soon as he caught the ball. And Toppin, they're going to say no gain. He actually lost half a yard. Lost a full yard. So the Cougars now with 5 yards of offense. Scott backing up, pass is thrown up in the air, up for grabs, incomplete, as Blaine Netterman was not the intended receiver, but it sure looked like it, as Scott just threw it up for grabs. Not even sure I could tell who the intended receiver was, because the only person who was near it was Netterman. 3rd and 11. Cougars will bring Zamir Mobley back out here. Mobley had 1 carry for about 6 yards in the first half. 3rd and 11. Scott takes a snap. Under pressure from Mike Nobile. Pass is thrown and incomplete. As once again, Scott running for his life. That time Nobile and Trent Freeze were in pursuit. And Scott just kind of flips it out of bounds. So 1, 2, 3 kick go the Cougars. And it'll be 4th and 11 as Nick Firth comes back out to punt it away. 6th punt of the night here for Firth. Barksdale stands at his own 34. Snap. Kick. I think they might have got a piece of it, yeah. The ball takes a good cane roll all the way down to the 30. The Aggies may have gotten a piece of the ball there. It doesn't matter all that much because it actually ends up for the best. They blocked it, but it wobbles its way down to the 30 and 35, and because it was blocked, you couldn't have picked it up. The ball was basically no vertical on the ball. It was just rolling flat down the field. So numerically, it looks like a pretty good kick there for Nick Firth. 1st and 10. Aggies come back out up 30 to nothing, 11:26 to play. And what has been a slow-moving game. 2 hours in and really just in the early stages here of the third quarter. Bohannon hands the ball off. Simmons with a hold to his left. Nope. The hole quickly disappears as the tackle is made by Aaron Cottrell yet again. Cottrell is everywhere. Loss of 1 on the play, or loss of half a yard for Dante. Have not said much of Mike Nobile. Have not said much of Mike Capozzoli, or Dante Capozzoli either. 2 All-Americans have been pretty quiet. 2nd and 11. Bohannon. As Ralph Highland shifts to his right. Quick throw underneath. In behind the intended receiver, and Tavion Dorsey unable to come up with it. It'll be 3rd and 11. Aggies bring Ryan Laughlin back out there for 3rd and 11. Looking down the line, trying to make out if Bam Banavidi, who got hurt in the first half, is back out there. I don't think so. Bohannon takes a snap. All kinds of time. Looking, firing down the field, and incomplete. On the money, but Ryan Laughlin unable to hang on to it. Would have been a great catch by Laughlin. Good throw from Bohannon, just incomplete, but that one's not on Daquan. That was a beautiful throw. He's probably deserved better than his stat line here tonight. The 2 interceptions were, at least as best we can tell on him. Who knows if somebody ran a wrong route or something, but had some catchable balls not caught. That one not included. Bobby Miller kicks away. Dante Davison's going to get a break. There's another kick returner here for Kane. This is number 6. And he's a forward to the 42-yard line. Return of 4 for the Cougars. 6 for Kane would be, assuming that's Jake Zerillo. And the Cougars will take over at their own 42. First and 10 for the Cougars. Scott out of the shotgun. Jamison got a very brief break. He's back. Scott pump fakes and throws it into the turf to avoid getting sacked. As Scott had 4 different guys in pursuit. Mike Nobile, 55 for Del Val. That's, actually, I'm not sure who 55 is. Tom Godwin. Blaine Netterman, the safety, was coming on a blitz, so 2nd and 10 for Scott. He'll try it again. Twins to the far side, 1 man to the near side. Scott takes a snap. He's going to keep the ball himself and get out of bounds with a loss of 2 on the play as Rod Godwin chases him out of bounds. And they may be gracious here and give him will they give him a yard? Will they give him anything? No. Loss of 1. Godwin chases him out of bounds. So 3rd and 11 for the Cougars, who have run, this will be the 6th play of the second half. They have -3 yards. Scott takes a snap. Nobile again chasing. Pass is thrown. Incomplete. Trying to sneak it on the far sideline. Unable to connect with his receiver. Jameer Pravard was in coverage, and the Cougars will one more time go 3 and out. Now the Delaware Valley defense now has given up, has as many takeaways as Kane does yards, 4 apiece. Firth gets it away. Nice kick. Fair catch made by Barksdale at his own 28. So the Aggies offense will go back to work. 9:43 to play in the first quarter. Third quarter. First and 10 for Del Val from their own 28, leading 30-0. 9:43 to play third quarter. Bohannon with Simmons to his right, hands it off to Dante. Dante stutter steps across the 30 to about the 31. It'll be a 3-yard pickup. Simmons lost his helmet, so he'll have to come out for a play. 2nd and 7 coming up here for Del Val. Dante Capozzoli with the stop. Just the second time we've said his name tonight. Simmons now 16 carries for 87 yards. Ball is fumbled and lost, and the Cougars recover at the Aggies 19. So the Aggies with their 3rd turnover of the game, and the Cougars set up inside the 20. Just miscommunication in the backfield. Ball got loose, and the Cougars scoop it up. And this is their best chance to score here, as they have got, again, 4 yards total. That is Delaware Valley's 3rd turnover, though. 9:13 to play. Kane has a new guy. Do they have a new guy at quarterback? Yeah, they do. New quarterback. Drop back, throw, caught, touchdown. One play, one score. Justin Lucia comes in, throws it back corner. Aggies corner misplayed it. And the Cougars miles top into the end zone for the score. So 30-6. Toppin with the adjustment and the catch. Toppin with 3 touchdowns a year ago. And now all those ridiculously bad numbers for Kane get erased. The Aggies give up their first score of the year on a short field there. And a nice throw from Justin Lucia, who did not play 2 years ago. And now we have a timeout by the Cougars, who took too long to get their special teams on the field. .9:07 to play here in the third quarter. See if Justin Lucia can. Well, he's already doing. He's already doing better than Antonio Scott was able to do there. As Lucia comes out, there's one play, throws a touchdown. His quarterback rating is 615. 1 for 1 with 1 touchdown. Cougars will go for 2. Lucia in the backfield takes a snap. Ball is thrown and knocked down, as is Lucia. Knocked down at the line by Del Val, and the Cougars trim the Aggies' lead down. Now it's 30-6, 9:07 to play in the third quarter. .22-yard drive there for Kane after Delaware Valley fumbles the ball away. The Aggies' offense has looked okay in spots, but obviously not on that possession. Cougars set to kick the ball away for just the second time tonight. Tristan Weathers and Ron Highland are back to return the kick. Kick is high and dropped by Highland. Now he picks it up at his own 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Into Kane territory. Down the sideline he goes and shoved out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Long return for Del Val there. Got off to an inauspicious start. But then ripping down the sideline, I think that's Ron Highland. Yeah, that is Highland with the return. The senior, one of many, with a long return. It sets Delaware Valley up at their own, let's see. I'm sorry, not at their own. At the Kane 26-yard line is where they're going to say Highland went out of bounds. So Delaware Valley will go have 1st and 10. Bohannon with Quadier Struthers, who's apparently okay, in behind him. No, actually, I'm sorry, that's Simmons. Simmons slips and loses his footing and also loses 2 yards. Well, the Aggies have had 3 possessions here and another man down on offense. 3 possessions. First one, they started at the Kane 10. They went 4 yards and then kicked a field goal. Second one, they went backwards 2 yards and then fumbled the ball. And now the first play from scrimmage on the 3rd drive of the second half is another lost play. The Aggies lineman is down. That is a big man, whoever that is. That's Austin Regan, 6'4", 340 pounds. My goodness. Regan, the left guard. Dan Crow, who's only slightly smaller, would be next up. 2nd and 11 for Del Val, leading 30-6, 8:42 to play. We've had 2 turnovers already in this quarter. 1 for each team. Aggies turn theirs into 3. Cougars turn theirs into 6. Barksdale to the near side. Bohannon takes a snap. Rolls to the right. Looks, pass, thrown, incomplete. Wide receiver gets clobbered, and I think we're going to get a holding penalty or pass interference on the Cougars. Bohannon was looking for, I think it's one of the Dorseys. Cougars defense is already backing up, so they believe it's on them. Wait for the official to make the call. Officials talking things over.
Pass interference, 23 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now, that one hurts. 15 yards on Kane will take Delaware Valley from what would have been 3rd and long, although, again, part of the reason it was incomplete was the pass interference. Nas kneeled the offending party there. And the Aggies will have it 1st and 10 from the 12. Bohannon sends a man in motion, takes a snap, looks one way, slings it to Barksdale. Barksdale gets a block, 10, 5, 4, tackled at the 3. The Aggies like to run that play. And Barksdale has the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal for Del Val from about the 3-yard, well, did they say it's a 9-yard gain? Anthony Bassani, who had an interception, makes the tackle. It is 2nd and 1, okay. Did not quite get the first down. 2nd and 1 from the 3. Dante Simmons to the left of Bohannon. Ralph Highland starts in motion. Handoff goes to Simmons. Simmons goes low, and he is not in. I think he has the first down, but it will be, if he has the first down, it'll be first and goal from about the 2. Yeah, first and goal for Del Val from the 2. So Walt Truxell checks in for Del Val. Aggies in goal-to-go situations so far here tonight. Well, they've scored in all of them. Bohannon hands it off. Dante Simmons lunges towards the end zone. No signal. I don't know if he's in or not. Now the Cougars have the ball, but the play is long dead. And they're going to say Simmons got half of what he needed. So first and goal from the 2. He's just inside the 1. It'll be second and goal from about the half-yard line. Simmons had a touchdown on fourth and goal from the 2 in the second quarter that made it 20-0. Looking for his third rushing touchdown of the night here, perhaps, unless they want to let Daquan Bohannon just try and push it across the line for that last 3 feet or so. Adams the center, and Bohannon's going to take a timeout. Play clock was down to 5 seconds. 6:19 to play here in the third quarter. Delaware Valley leading 30-6. Aggies with second and goal from the 1. 6:19 to play here in the third quarter, leading 30-6. King gets on the scoreboard after a fumble and a touchdown pass, and Daquan Bohannon just bulldozes his way towards the end zone. Still no signal. It looks like he's going to be just short again. Third and I don't know how much shorter you can be. third and inches. The nose of the ball is just outside the goal line. Good stand here from the Kane defensive line. See what they want to do here on third and exceptionally short. Hand the ball off. Simmons, he's in. Touchdown, Dante Simmons. Ricochets off a couple of guys, falls down in a pile of bodies, and Dante with his third rushing touchdown of the night. Earlier, they went in off the right tackle and the right guard. This time, the left side of the line paves the way. And the Aggies increase their lead. It is 36-6 with 5:31 to play. Jack Hughes returns. Snap is there. Kick is blocked. He was unable to get elevation on that one. And knocked down at the line. No good. Blocked by, well, there's the All-American making a play. Dante Capozzoli blocks the kick. The Aggies do add 6 more points, and it's now 36-6. Last time the Aggies played here, I think it was 37-0. Check on that. I believe that was the final score. Now, they say Nas Neal blocked it. I didn't think it got to Neal. I thought it was blocked before that, but nevertheless. Jake Cirillo, along with Davion Dorr back to return the kick for Kane, who's decided Dante Jameson needs a break. Jack Hughes set to kick it away. And it's a line drive that Dorr takes at his own 15, 20, 25. Good head of steam. Hits the 35, 40. Still on his feet, 41. And now it looks like a rugby scrum at the 41. And whistles and bodies, and arms and legs all a tangle. Cougars will start from there. Good luck trying to figure out who made that tackle. Fourth meeting ever between these two teams. They played once in the postseason, ECA season. Once in the regular season. Before the postseason game, and then the last two seasons here. Yeah, 37-7 was the score last time they played. Just a Lucia's throw, high and caught by Miles Toppin. Nice catch from Toppin, but he's going to get that down or he's going to get his wide receiver killed. Toppin was stretched out to the max there to make a 2-yard catch. Tackled by Justin Harris. Nothing else. Lucia's a little taller. Lucia, sophomore from Nutley, New Jersey, 6 foot. Aggies show a 4-man front on 2nd and 8. Nobile comes, pass is thrown, catch is made, and just stopped short of midfield as the wide receiver on the screen. But the Aggies' defense is just so fast. Even that one where they have the Aggies sucked in pretty well on a screen, you get past the linemen, and there's just a wave of secondary. Again, all 4 starters off the secondary from a year ago are back. And a play that looked like it had a chance to, maybe be a first down ends up being about a 5-yard pickup for Dante Jameson. 3rd and 2. Miles Toppin kind of wobbles his way out to his position on the far side of the field. Looks a little sore. Lucia takes a snap, has time, pass thrown, incomplete as Trent Freeze applies the pressure. And Lucia flips it away out of bounds, and another punt coming up here for Kane. Fourth and 2 for the Cougars. Firth back out there. Tamir Barksdale as well. Waiting the long snap here for the Cougars on 4th and 2. Kick is away. Token pressure. Barksdale chased all the way back to his own 10. Takes one step back and now forward. 15, 20. And a flag on the play as two guys are really getting into it. It's Trent Freeze for Del Val, and I didn't see who it was for Kane, but the guy was buried in the turf with his jersey over his face. Number 95 for the Cougars. It's Nestor Conforti, senior long snapper. And I think the Aggies are going to go backwards half the distance to the goal here. It's on Freeze. Holding is the penalty. And the Aggies will have it half the distance to the goal inside their own 15. Aggies have 6 scoring drives. A couple of them have been very short. The longest drive they've had is about 45 yards. About 55 yards. Ron Highland on the direct snap at quarterback. And Highland breaks it off, and he's still on his feet. 15, 20, 35, 40, 45, close to midfield, and down at the 50. How about Highland again? Ralph Highland, not Ron Highland, my mistake. Frankfurt native has got a long kick return and now a direct snap run for about 35 yards. Aaron Cottrell makes the tackle. Highland with a 38-yard run. Aggies over 200 yards rushing now. That carry. Bohannon rolls to the right side. Pass is thrown and caught by Ryan Laughlin, first catch of his career. And Laughlin lunges forward across the Kane 45 to about the 43. It's a pickup of 6 for Ryan. Laughlin from Southampton, Pennsylvania. Archbishop Wood High School, one of the Catholic schools. 2nd and 3. Bohannon now 9 for 23 for, make that 10 for 24 for 116 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Bohannon hands the ball off. Simmons with a stiff arm. 40, 35, stays on his feet, pushed out of bounds on the near sideline at about the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 13 for Dante Simmons. And with that, Simmons is over 100 yards. 21st carry of the night for Simmons, who's averaging 4.2 per carry. A year ago, he was averaging 5.2 yards per carry. He averaged 50 yards per game last year when he split time with mostly Mario Nigro. Aggies quickly into Kane territory. This drive started at their own 15. 1st and 10 from the Kane 29. Bohannon drops back, backpedaling, looking for somebody. Flips it on the sideline. The catch is made, no, out of bounds. As John Davis was the intended receiver, but really Bohannon was just trying to avoid a sack there. So 2nd and 10. Second and 9 here for Del Val. Or 2nd and 10, excuse me. No gain on that play. Bohannon with Simmons in behind him. We have not seen Struthers since he went off the field in the first half. Bohannon throws it. Catch is made right around the knees by his wide receiver, who gets to about the 21-yard line in his tackle. I think that's Laughlin again. I was all right. That's the crowd mic, by the way. That's not my mother chiming in. 3rd and 2 after the 8-yard pickup by Laughlin, who's got his first 2 catches of his career on this possession. 1:17 to play in the 3rd quarter. Aggies comfortably in front, 36-6. 3rd and 2. Simmons takes the carry, ducks his head down, tripped up, lunges forward for the 1st down. Simmons across the 20 to about the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup for Dante. Aggies with a 1st and 10 from the Cougars 15, coming here with 56 seconds to play. If they score here, I don't really know what we'll see of the offense in the 4th quarter. Bohannon, Dorsey to his left, takes a snap. Again, all kinds of time. Now Bohannon runs to his left, loses a defender, throws it, and the catch is incomplete. Incomplete. He had Barksdale, but Barksdale was unable to get a foot down, and now there's whistles. I'm not sure it would have mattered, as the Aggies may have had an ineligible man downfield. Let's see what the flag is. There's a bunch of them. Had Barksdale, but again, the height is going to be an issue there, as Barksdale, a taller receiver, probably makes that catch without having to leap and contort quite that way. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Ron Goodwin with the holding penalty, and the Aggies will go backwards 10 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15. Officials called the penalty. Oh. I don't understand why it's 1st and 10 after a penalty. understand what that was. Direct snap to Ralph Highland. Highland 15 to the 10. I'm completely baffled by what happened there. 2nd and 4. Highland remains back there all by himself as quarterback, and Kane is... Nope, Kane's not going to do anything because it's the end of the 3rd quarter. Aggies trying to cap a long drive here. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Kane 10. Delaware Valley comfortably in front. It's the Aggies 36 and the Cougars 6. We get the explanation. There was the play there. There was a holding penalty on Rod Goodwin. What we missed is that there was also a holding penalty on Kane, so it was offsetting penalties, which is why the ball didn't move. Thank you for the explanation. Final score: Salisbury defeats Albright 56-14. Ursinus on top of Alvernia now, about midway through the final frame there, 28-6. I don't know if FDU Florham and Merchant Marine are perpetually frozen at 21-20 Merchant Marine. Let's see if we can get the updated score. That might have to be the longest halftime in the history of man if that was still at the half. A 3-hour halftime show. Well, scoreboard's not going to help you out. It tells you it's still in the 1st quarter. 2nd and 5 for the Aggies. Bohannon is out there. Highland's behind him, and Ralph gets the handoff. Ralph to the outside, bounces. It's a touchdown, but it's coming back. Highland scores. We're going to get a holding penalty on the play. So the Aggies don't even bother to... Half the team was down there celebrating in the end zone with Highland. The other half just never moved. They just stayed where they were. Now Corey Shriver, the culprit there. Not offsetting, so they'll move it back 10 yards this time. So 2nd and 15 for Del Val. Bohannon out of the shotgun. Looks like he's going to throw it. Hands the ball off on a delayed draw to Simmons, and Simmons doesn't get very much, maybe 2 yards. 3rd and a long 13 for Del Val. Simmons now 23 carries, 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ralph Highland 4 carries for 50 yards. Leading receiver for Del Val is Tamir Barksdale. He has 39 yards, but they're all basically where they snap it. Bohannon turns around and throws it almost a lateral to Barksdale. And Barksdale does the rest. 36-6, Del Val on top. 14-14 to play, final quarter here. Bohannon on 3rd and very long. Takes a snap, throws towards the end zone, and a pass interference play on the Cougars as the intended receiver just got tackled to the turf as he went to leap. I think Zach Harding is the intended receiver, but Harding never even had a chance to make a play on the ball because he was just tackled as soon as the ball was headed in his general direction. So that will be pass interference and an automatic 1st down. Second pass interference penalty on the Cougars. That'll be 1st and goal from the 5, I believe. Now half the distance to the goal would make it the Oh, at the 2. Okay. So the Aggies try and punch it in here. This drive started at their own 15. This is their best drive of the night. Bohannon with Ralph Highland to his left. Highland to carry. And Highland is down at the 1. Half a yard gain for Ralph Highland. See if they can get Ralph a touchdown here. He's had a nice night. 5 carries for over 50 yards. Handoff. Ralph looks to get to the left side, and he's in. Touchdown. Ralph Highland. So Highland not even on our depth chart, but making the most of his opportunities. And the senior from Philly into the end zone for the touchdown. The Aggies lead 42-6. That was a good drive for Del Val, and might pull the offense here and let them go off on a high note. They start at their own 15. Bunch of completions to Laughlin. Ralph Highland with some good runs. Kick from Hughes is away, and it is good. 13:22 to play in the final frame. Aggies comfortably in front, 43-6. A reminder next week, back at home, James Warwick Memorial Stadium, as Delaware Valley will host the Montclair State University Redhawks. The spot on the schedule that opened up when Wesley College closed entirely as an institution purchased by Delaware State University. Del State, the two programs right next to each other in Dover, Delaware. Del State electing to close the athletic program. And the Aggies, no disrespect to Widener, but lose their best rival. Those teams were top 25 and kind of perpetually had played some great games. Aggies try an onside kick. Up 37. Either that or that was just a horrible kick. No, that's an onside kick attempt by Cam Davis, a freshman linebacker, 33. I don't know if Jack Hughes got hurt, but Pat Moran hit the extra point on that last one, number 37. Maybe Cam Davis is the third string kicker, and that's just what it looks like. I don't know. That was very weird. Cougars have it at their own 38. The first team defense is still out there. Nick Lucia, one very good drive, threw a touchdown pass on his first play. The other one, not so much, as Davion Dorr gets his arm nearly removed from his body, tries to come across, actually it's Mobley, and springs free and lands right into the arms of Anthony Tedesco, who makes the tackle for a loss. Tedesco's been very busy. It's Tedesco's 8th stop. Aggies have had a couple of interceptions, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss besides that sack, or 2 tackles for loss. So hasn't been the type of game where you have all kinds of gaudy numbers, but boy, the defense has been exceptional. Lucia throws it a sideline, and the only man near it was an Aggie, as Jameer Pavard nearly had his 2nd interception of the game. Incomplete, 2nd and a long 10. Kane will be home next week. We mentioned the fact that the NJAC has fewer teams, so that means more non-conference games. Kane will host Utica College, upstate New York. NJAC should be interesting. Montclair, Rowan, Salisbury, I would think, would all be in the mix. Snap, Lucia under trouble, evades two guys, throws it, and it's caught, I think. First down? Yes, first down. Lucia just just threw it before Michael Nobile had the sack, and lobs it up for Jake Zarillo, who makes the catch for a pickup of 14. Kane keeps the chains moving. Just the fourth first down of the night for Kane, two of them coming on penalties. One of them was a touchdown. So that's the first offensive first down that isn't a touchdown or a penalty, comes with 12 minutes to play. Lucia drops back, screen pass, ball caught, ball lost, picked up, and going the other way. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Jameer Brevard to the house. Except not. They're waving it off. I didn't see what happened, other than Dorr lost the ball and Brevard had it land in his hands and took it the rest of the way. That would explain why half the Kane team didn't bother chasing. Are they going to say it was incomplete? I guess they're going to say that he never. Are they going to say he never caught it, I guess? Brevard, pick six, wiped out. Oh, offsides on Del Val. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. We get a understand. Now we have an understanding why Nick Lucia is in the game. Antonio Scott got hurt. He's right in front of our position. They've got his jersey off. They've got his shoulder across his body. They're trying to ice him down. Though Lucia has been more effective anyway. Handoff here, and again, nowhere. Loss of 5. As he gets hammered into the turf. Ball came loose, but the Cougars recover it. Tackle made by Delaware Valley's Ahmad Jones, number 12. Loss of 3 on the play. Second and 8. Aggies do still have a mix of their first team and second team defense out there. Lucia takes a snap. Ball thrown across the middle. Oh, my goodness. Wide receiver nearly got annihilated. One thing about Lucia, he's a little more mobile, he's a little taller, but he has got to get that ball down or he's going to get his wide receivers killed. As Kyle Devaney almost took an inadvertent knee in the face as he tried to stretch out for that ball. Incomplete, 3rd and 7. Aggies now out there with defense. They've got Kelvin Brown, 5'11 freshman, 333 pounds. They do still have Mike Nobile. They do still have, again, it's a mix of first and second team guys. Although Ahmad Brown was not on the 2 deep. Lucia, under pressure, pass is thrown, and should have been intercepted, but knocked away. And that is the way that drive comes to an end. Aaron Myers in coverage. Knocks it away. And 4th and 7 coming up here for the Cougars. And the band continues to play. They've got all that music stored up after not being able to play it all last year. I wonder if they'll stop when the game's over. 10:55 to play here, 4th quarter. Delaware Valley in front 43-6. Aggies offense got off to a really sluggish start, but the defense held Kane to 4 turnovers and 4 yards midway through the 3rd quarter. Punter Nick Firth gets it away. Barksdale gives it a look. Now catches it at his own 5. Running backwards to his 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and out of bounds at the 35 for Tamir. And now a very late flag. I mean, nobody is even on the field anymore. Everybody, the Aggies special teams have left, and the Cougars special teams, because they were chasing on the far sideline, have not returned. So I guess that's probably a holding penalty. Yeah. So if it came at the 30, they'll get a 1st and 10 at the 20, which is what they would have had if Barksdale would have just let it bounce into the end zone. Oh, okay. Well, worse than that, because it was a blindside block, so a personal foul on Lundrum Nasufi. So instead of getting it at the 20, they'll get it at the 15. Aggies had an 85-yard drive the last time around, and I'm looking to see who's out there, and it is Casey Decker at quarterback, I believe. So second-team offense out there now. The team up 43-6. Decker rolling. He's got a man wide open, and now he throws it, and it's caught at the 47 of Kane. If that's hitting stride, Des Austin is gone, but Austin makes the catch, and it's a 42-yard throw from Casey Decker who was flushed out of the pocket, but by the time he found Des Austin, Austin was all alone. Somebody forgot to cover him. And now Decker has one of those ridiculous quarterback ratings. .428 quarterback rating. 1 for 1. Handoff right up the middle, bouncing off a man, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, and out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. They say it's White for the Aggies. That is Julian White. I mean, everybody looks good in warm-ups, but White, for whatever reason, caught my eye. He's built like an old NFL running back. You know, remember the guys that were kind of battering rams? So less Barry Sanders and more, I don't know, Eric Dickerson maybe? But White, after Decker throws for 42, White runs for about 35, and this third play goes backwards. So 2nd and goal coming. .9:28 and counting here. Aggies with their reserves out. And a 43-6 lead. Well, the defense looked spectacular. Offense has got some things to clean up. 43 points notwithstanding. I'd say about 17 where those were set up by the defense with short fields. Not that that's something you don't want to take advantage of, but not something you're going to get every week. 9 minutes to play here. Decker out of the shotgun. Decker hands it off. And I think that's our new friend there, Julian White again. Yeah, maybe, well, they say that snap came from the 5, and he's down at the 4, so I guess he got a yard. Aggies have 150 guys on the roster. They didn't bring them all. 3rd and goal for Del Val. Casey Decker is a senior. Decker from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, Upper Moreland High School, so not very far from Doylestown at all. Decker takes a snap, clean pocket, quick throw, touchdown. Decker into the end zone, and the Aggies into the end zone. That's Jalen Gaither for the touchdown. Number 18, a junior wide receiver from New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. Nicely run route there by Gaither, and Decker connects with him with ease. So the Aggies take 5 plays to go 85 yards with their second team. And apparently Hughes is okay. He's going to come back out after Pat Moran hit the last extra point. Snap is there. Kick is away. It is up, and it is good. So Jack Hughes, who's had an eventful night, missed 1 extra point, had another one blocked, kicked the field goal. That comes back out and knocks it through, and the Aggies extend the lead. It's 50-6. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back. A nice 85-yard drive there by the Aggies offensive reserves. Casey Decker with a long pass. Casey Decker looked really good on that drive. Long pass to Des Austin and a touchdown pass to Jalen Gaither. Both of whom get their first catches of the season. Pair it with the White by the long run by the freshman running back, Julian White. And the Aggies very quickly go down the field. Now that's back-to-back 85-yard drives for Del Val. Yet another kickoff here for the Aggies. Taken at the 15. And up to about the 25. And whoever has the ball doesn't even have his feet on the ground anymore. He's got so many guys hanging on him, they carry him backwards. Tackle made by Delaware Valley's Cole Kitchen, senior defensive back. Cougars will come back out. And it looks like Antonio Scott is hurt. And Justin Lucia, has been marginally more effective, so I would imagine he'll remain out there. Well, actually, yes, Lucia is still out there, along with Patrick Beltran to his left. Aggies now with the second-team defense out there. Beltran takes a snap and lost the ball, and the Aggies say they have it. Pile of bodies at the 29 or so as Beltran had it fly out of his hands, and indeed the Aggies do have it. Fumble recovery for Delaware Valley as Ahmad Moore had a tackle for loss on his first possession and a fumble recovery on his second. Well, Moore is a sophomore defensive back. Looked pretty good here in his first game. And the Aggies' second-team offense, who has just stepped off the field, comes back on. This is the second or third time in this game that Kane has lost the ball in the first snap of a possession. So Decker comes back out. He'll just hand the ball off and forward to about the 25-yard line for 3 yards. It's White again. Aggies send Des Austin to the far side. Jalen Gaither covers him up. Decker with White to his left. Decker fakes the handoff, and he is dropped. Tackled for a loss. Well read by Abel Crespo, the senior linebacker from Roselle Park, just a little south of here. 3rd and 11. 3rd and 10. Decker loses 2 yards. Aggies with all kinds of new names out there. Freshman tight end Kai Allen from Plymouth Meeting, number 85. You got Tristan Weathers, who saw some burn with the first team. He's out there. Decker takes a snap. Guys pick it up. Pass thrown. That's Kai Allen with the catch. 20, 15, and down to about the... he's down to the 16. He's got a first down. Nice job by Kai Allen. And yet another flag. I don't know if the officials had it all saved up for the last year or two. That came way after the play was over. Kane is looking at each other like, what did we do there? Is that a sideline warning maybe? It's a nothing. There, wave the flag off. First and 10 for Del Val from their own, or from the Kane, 17-yard line. First catches ever in this game for a whole bunch of guys. Des Austin, Jalen Gaither, Tristan Weathers, Kai Allen, Ryan Laughlin. Lots of guys getting in on the fun here with the Aggies up 50-6. Decker, handoff, straight up the middle. And is that Jonathan St. Hilaire? Number 41 for Del Val. No, that's Timothy Weldon. Sorry, sophomore from Father Judge. Weldon was on the team last season. Second and 6 for the Aggies. Austin and Gaither to the far side. White replaces Weldon. Decker out of the shotgun. Hands it off. And nowhere to go. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play. As I think that's Abel Crespo who comes up and, nope, that's not Crespo. That is Anthony Bassani who makes the tackle. 2nd and 8 for Del Val. 3rd and 8, rather, excuse me. Aggies just trying to run out the clock here. 5:11 to play in what has been a long game, almost pushing 3 hours now. Aggies will bring Isaiah Calhoun in. This is a 2 tight end look. Decker will dump it off for White and dump it into the turf. Julian White unable to come up with that one. 4th and 8. You want to let Jack Hughes attempt a really long field goal? Give it a 35 yards. Nick Restaino had a 41-yard field goal last time the Aggies were here. Restaino was graduated. Now they're going to go for it. 4th and 8. Have to get to about the Kane 8 with 4:51 to play. Decker with White to his left. Gaither and Austin split far to that side. Decker drops back. He looks. He's got a man. Pass thrown. Touchdown. And the man took a vicious hit. That is Des Austin, who made a great catch and maybe having second thoughts about that right now. Austin made the catch and then got belted in the face. Hangs on to the ball. Helmet off. And Austin is by himself. He's not in the mood to celebrate. But that was a great catch there by Austin, who's now the Aggies' leading receiver in this game. Des Austin now 2 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. And Casey Decker, 4 for 5 with 2 scores. $56-6. Extra point coming. Decker has looked good and obviously limited action. Still against the Kane first team defense. Lawless to hold. Orris to snap. Another bad snap that Lawless hangs on to, and the kick is blasted up and through the uprights. And so Jack Hughes back on track is Jack, and the Aggies with a 57-6 lead.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Welcome back. Delaware Valley with a 57-6 lead now. Cougars get the ball with 4:44 to play. Hughes again. That ball is headed for the outs. Yeah, headed out of bounds. 4:44 to play. Cougars will get the ball at their own 35. Fans starting to file out here. Good showing from the fans. First First day of athletic action here at Kane. They had a volleyball game flooded out, as did Del Val. Del Val didn't have a flood, but rain washed away their game. Hurricane Ida. 2 soccer games earlier. 2 more tomorrow. And if I heard correctly, 2 more on Sunday. I don't know if all those are varsity or what. 57-6. Nick Lucia and the Cougars offense back out there. Ball handed off. Running to the near side. Number 11 for the Cougars, who's got about a 10-yard pickup. For Zymir Mobley, he looked good. And he only had 1 carry against the first-team defense for Del Val, but he had 7 yards. So, Damian Smith makes the tackle for Del Val. Mobley, well, not as good as I thought. I think Mobley also had that 1 fumble, so 3 carries for 5 yards. Second and 1, he didn't quite get to the sticks. Lucia, quick throw, catch made. First down for the Cougars. They pick up, needed 1, got 2. 3:55 to play. Again, getting some new bodies out there as well now. Jake Cirillo with a catch. David Welch III. First time we've said his name other than the starting lineup. Tight end appears. Mobley and Lucia both looking at the Cougars sideline. Offensive coordinator for Kane is David Galante. Kane University graduate in 2013. Greco will get his 60th win of his college football career, 6th season. Remember, it's only a 10-game, it's only a 10-game regular season in Division III, so he's averaging about 10 wins per season, which, yeah, that's really good. It means he's basically in the playoffs every year. 2-yard pickup for the Cougars, 3:07 to play. Both teams just kind of trying to get to the end of this game without anything further. Second and 8. Lucia hands it off. And it'll be 3rd and 9. Loss of 1 on the play. See, the guy comes out of the middle of the pile there. Tackle made by Michael Stout, junior linebacker from Reading. Also got Sean Bolcom out there. Sean with a big, tall, long body. Just a freshman. He will be, that's the type of frame. He put some muscles on that. Not that he's built like a defensive end. I mean, he's not a stick, but he's just a freshman. He could be physically pretty scary before he's done. 3rd and 7. Lucia hands the ball off, and Mobley gets clotheslined for a loss of 2. So, I think that's my man Sean Bolcom right there. How about that? Yeah, it was Bolcom with the tackle for a loss of 2. Just like we planned it. 4th and 10. Here comes the punting unit one more time with 1:39 to play. Barksdale back yet again. Play clock down to 9. Firth catches it. Gets it away. Barksdale says fair catch, and he makes it at his own 10. So 78 seconds to play, and just anything to get back out on the field tonight feels like a success. Obviously, Delaware Valley was the prohibitive favorite here, 12th in the country in the preseason for D3Football.com. Street and Smith actually had them 5th in the country. As much as we'd like for that to be the case, I think D3 Football's poll is probably a little more accurate. Also keep in mind, though, Division III has 235 teams, so considerably more than D1. So Del Val expected to win here tonight, and obviously they're going to do so. It's 57-6, but Have some work to do on the offensive side, but just so nice to be back out with the team as I snap, and I think this is a new quarterback now for Del Val, Connor Beans, freshman from New Oxford. They're saying it's Jesse Milza, number 16. Okay, yes, it is. Milza. Crespo and Briggs make the tackle. 51 seconds to play. The Aggies will have to run like one more play. Milza out of the shotgun. Takes a snap. Hands it off. Running back straight forward. Bounces off the line and now bounces to the outside. And tackled at about the 19-yard line. It's a pickup of 4 as Jillian White gets a handful of yards, and that should be the last play of the game. Final 10 seconds tick off. Delaware Valley's defense at one point had allowed as many yards as they had turnovers, and at one point was midway through the third quarter. Cougars did get a short field touchdown, but overall, Kane finishes with 23 attempts for -4 yards and 56 yards of total offense. Aggies with 479 yards of offense. It's a little misleading, though, as a lot of those came with the second team out there. But overall, the Aggies with obviously a very comfortable win. Individual standouts for Delaware Valley. Dante Simmons, 3 touchdowns tonight, 111 yards on the ground. Des Austin with the reserves, 2 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. Casey Decker, again, limited action, but he was 4 for 5 for 68 yards and 2 scores. On the defensive side for Delaware Valley, Jameer Pravard and Blaine Nennerman, both with interceptions. Tedisco finishes with 8 stops, including 1 for a loss. Justin Harris had 5 stops, 1 for a loss. Vessels with a sack. Yusuf Aladinoff had a tackle for a loss. Quiet night for Anthony Nobile. He had just 1 tackle. So the nation's leader in tackles for loss. A slow start here tonight, but plenty of help everywhere else as the Aggies roll over Kane here in the season opener. That'll do it for us here tonight. Special thanks to everyone who made tonight's broadcast possible. Thank you to Kim DeRitter, Sports Information Director here at Kane University in Union, New Jersey. Thanks to Chris Elliott and the folks at Delaware Valley University. And a special thanks to you. It's good to be back. Good to be back with the Aggies, and good to be back in the win column. Next week, 1 o'clock, should be a good one. Montclair State University, the Red Hawks and the Aggies, live from Doylestown at 1. For everyone at Delaware Valley University, this is Gordon Mann. Have a good night, everyone.